about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunnyquip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Luba Workers Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The latest NBA Max extension goes to Spurs star De'Aaron Fox. 4 years, $229 million, reports ESPN's Shams Charania. No player option in the final year and keeps Fox in San Antonio through the 2029-2030 NBA season. What's been happening during the contract standoff between the Cowboys and pass rusher Micah Parsons is really nothing new for Jerry Jones, according to the Cowboys owner himself. Jones, in an interview with USA Today, published today, again said he won't grant Parsons' trade request and is in no hurry to get a deal done. ESPN NFL front office insider Mike Tannenbaum.
I think there's a 0% chance he gets traded, and I think this is just the noise of an NFL negotiation in July and August. I just don't think Jerry Jones, as the owner-operator of the Cowboys, is going to trade a star. I just don't think he's wired that way.
Mike Tannenbaum on Unsportsmanlike. Parsons at training camp but not practicing. Bills running back James Cook did not practice for a second straight day at camp as he seeks a contract extension. Men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments won't be expanding this season. Fields stay at 68.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Tuesday, we've talked a lot about the expectations for Caleb Williams this season, but I'll tell you whether they're actually way too high. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
And off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR, presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
This is Shaq O'Neal, and I hate Matt.
Paul O'Neal.
They're chanting Paul O'Neal's name.
Murray Musso. Thought I forgot, didn't you? Nope. Yeah. And Mr. Toby Tom Plate. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. LSU is back on the practice field. Kellen Moore put his team through a 126-play scrimmage on Sunday. Ross Jackson later. And straight up hour number 3, EJ Kuiper and Ryan Cross from Our Lady of the Lake are going to be in studio with us to talk in great detail about the whole basketball arena project for LSU. So we'll look forward to that. But let's begin as we do every single day.
It's time to pop the top on another edition of AFR with Bud Light. Drink easy.
Day 5 of fall camp for LSU football. Brian Kelly allowed the media in for about a half an hour or so at the end of practice. And I was there. Love to tell you what we saw. If you're keeping track at home, they opened up fall camp Wednesday. So they practiced Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Sunday was an off day. They went and volunteered at the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank. And then they were back at it on Monday. They continue to lengthen extend the length of practice. And normally when we've gotten just a piece of practice, it's been at the beginning, when mostly we're watching individual drills indoors. I actually prefer what they allowed us to do today, which was come at the end of practice to watch the final half hour or so. So we got to see a 7-on-7 period and 11-on-11 period, situation 11-on-11 work, and some other interesting drills like the pass rush drill with the offensive defensive line. So I'll run through, going to probably take a couple of segments here because what I want to do is kind of give you some observations first in this first segment. Then in the second segment, what I'll do is I'll give you the play-by-play of the 11-on-11. I'll start with maybe what was sort of newsy. What was newsy is that Aaron Anderson still not there. He practiced the first day. He has not practiced since. He was there on Saturday just in his jersey observing. I did not see him today. It's not to say he was not out there. I'm just saying I did not see him today in our allotted time. But I did ask Brian Kelly after practice for an update on Aaron Anderson. Here's what he said.
Today he felt really good. We're going to be very careful with him. He was great this summer in his training. Never missed a day. Probably a little bit of too much work in that sense, where he had some inflammation in the knee. We took an MRI, a bone scan. Everything looks really good. Now it's about just getting him back moving. So he'll do some agility and some movement tomorrow with the hope that Wednesday we've got him back out on the field.
So that's fantastic news. Nothing serious. They've done all the scans, all good. They hope to get him moving on Tuesday and back at practice on Wednesday. We'll see. This week they practice Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday before an off day on Thursday. They'll practice Friday, and BK told us Saturday will be a scrimmage day. So whatever availability they give us, I will be there, and we'll give you practice reports. So the update there on Aaron Anderson. I don't want to go any further without mentioning the day Harold Perkins had. And really the camp Harold Perkins has been having. Today, there were 3 very notable plays. In 7-on-7, he intercepted Garrett Nussmeier. In 11-on-11, they ran a screen pass where Perkins diagnosed it beautifully, shed the blocker, and then made the tackle. It was a tight end screen to Bauer Sharp in the flat, and then touched Bauer Sharp for a tackle for loss. And then he also blitzed in the 11-on-11 and got pressure on Nussmeier, and Nussmeier just fired it into the dirt to avoid a sack. I'm not trying to oversell it, but every time we're out there, Harold Perkins does something significant. And that shouldn't be surprising because we've all seen him do it before. It's just a matter of him being healthy and in the right spot. And I love seeing Harold Perkins play in space because what I just described for you is everything he can do well. He can blitz, he can tackle in space, he can turn and cover. Check, check, check. He's doing them all without any limitation, and has been really fun to watch. Brian Kelly gave an update on Perkins.
Yeah, I think it's a familiar role for him, one that now he has a complete knowledge of the linebacker position. He's not just a guy out there running around making plays. He's so much more intentional. He knows the game. He knows the nuances of it. The pick that he got in 7-on-7, he baited, Nussmeier into it. Just those little things, right, are experiential kind of plays that he's making. But physically, he's been great, taking care of himself. Recovery day, he's a beast. He just knows that, as I said, this is his year. And all of those things have allowed him to be really, really focused and not distracted.
So Harold Perkins has been really good and looks poised for a fantastic senior year. Just keep it up there with number 7 playing the star position. So when we went outside, the first thing we saw on the main field, the ones were running a 7-on-7. And then on the far field, it was the offensive-defensive line pass rush drill. On Saturday, I went to the far field to watch the pass rush drill. Today, I kind of stood between them to keep an eye on both. I could chart the pass rush and then also keep an eye on 7-on-7. If you're not familiar with the pass rush drill, I'll just explain it very quickly. The first team offensive line, the first team defensive line line up against each other, but it's a one-on-one. The reason that they have the entire offensive line out there is to prevent the defender from just looping around into space where there's nobody. So, for example, the first string offensive line will line up, and then it'll be Tyree Adams against, in this case, it was Gabe Relaford. And they'd go one-on-one. And then it would be DJ Chester against, in this case, Don McKinley. Braylon Moore went against Bernard Gooden. Josh Thompson went against Ahmad Bro. And then Weston Davis went against Jack Pyburn, one-on-one. And they do 2 reps consecutively. So the ones would do 10 reps. Y'all, today, the only rep the defense won, the only rep was Dominic McKinley bull rushed DJ Chester and put him on his back. And by the way, DJ Chester's a huge man. But that's the only rep the defense won. Tyree Adams beat Gabe Relaford. Braylon Moore stonewalled Bernard Gooden twice. By the way, Braylon Moore is so, like, oh my God. Like, listen, this isn't a Glory Days thing, but like I did that drill when I was younger and played in high school. I get it's high school. The point is, I know what it's like to do that drill. And some guys are just awesome at it. Like Will Campbell never lost a rep. I think in 3 years, never lost a rep in that drill. They should honestly rename the drill the Kalaj Cobbins drill, because Kalaj Cobbins, no one can stop it. Kalaj Cobbins abused Bo Bordelon today twice. But you can just see how good Braylon Moore is at snapping the ball, getting his hands up, engaging, and keeping the defender off him. That is not an easy thing to do because you have to make sure you execute the snap first and then get your hands up. It's a very technical thing to do, and he is really good at it. I guess my takeaway from this is I think the talent is there on the offensive line. They have 7 really talented guys, maybe 8, that I think are talented enough. For example, Karis Kern, the true freshman. Karis Kern took 2 reps against Patrick Payton today. Won both reps. Like, that's a true freshman against a 5th-year senior. That's incredible. So you've got talent. What's interesting is the offense wins those one-on-one drills. But when they go to the team period, the defense and the pass rush kind of overwhelms the offensive line. And what that tells me is you got really talented guys that are still trying to figure out how to play as one. So over these next 3 weeks of camp before you get into game week for Clemson, or 4 weeks before the game, like, it is going to be so imperative that those guys figure out how to play as one, because that group is talented enough. Like, you've got Weston Davis stonewalling Jack Pyburn. You've got Tyree Adams winning reps against Gabe Relaford. You got Braylon Moore, like, keeping Bernard Gooden at arm's length. Like, they're good enough. Like, they're plenty good enough. They just got to play as one. The other big observation today, I thought the defensive backs did a really good job covering in 7-on-7 and in the team period. But the offense keeps finding a way to make big plays. Chris Hilton had about a 30-yard reception where Nuss dropped it in the bucket. There was a hard count, quick snap where Nuss found Trey'Dez Green for about 25 yards, where he high pointed the ball, toe tap, beautiful catch. Caden Durham ripped off about a 60-yard touchdown run during 11-on-11. Like, the defense does really well, but the offense explosive plays are there, which is encouraging because we know the offense has that. But remember, that was something that was a bugaboo a year ago for the defense, was not allowing the big explosive play. That's something they're going to have to iron out here as they move forward. All right, it's After Further Review. Our show open every day is brought to you by Bud Light. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. If you're going to be watching LSU football this season, and maybe some of the preseason games, so who dat? Saints play this weekend. First preseason game. The official beer of the New Orleans Saints, of course, is Bud Light. I mean, incredible, right? Dustin Poirier is a Bud Light athlete. You see all the endorsers, Peyton Manning and Post Malone and Shane Gillis. Drink easy with the great taste of Bud Light, the official beer of AFR. Quick break, come back. Monday show is presented by Relief Windows. I'll run through the play-by-play of the 11-on-11. They ran 20 plays. So the ones ran 6, the twos ran 4, the ones ran 6, the twos ran 4, so they ran 20 plays. I'll run through the play-by-play of the 11-on-11 when we come back on AFR.
After Further Review.
AFR is brought to you by Darren James and Associates, brokered by LPT Realty. If you're thinking of selling your home, call the realtor that literally sells more homes than anyone. Call Darren James. I'm going to give you Darren's cell number, and I promise you, you can text Darren right now. I promise. I saw Darren was on a vacation with his beautiful wife, Jen. They were in the Bahamas. I guarantee you text Darren James is going to reply. 335-7666, 335-7666, 335-7666, or agent225.com. That's agent225.com. Go read any of the 5-star reviews. Go to Facebook and read some of the testimonials. There's a great one up that Darren posted from Clint Rabelais, who said, "Thank you for hiring such an impressive staff, being so good at what you do. Best wishes, continued success with this incredible company." So many reviews because so many homes sold. You need to sell your home. You need Darren James.
Think real estate, think Darren James.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
We tackle tomorrow. So our 6th practice, they allow you to tackle by NCAA rules. Then you have to be a percentage of all your practices have to meet a criteria. So our Saturdays will be pretty much, our night Saturdays will be pretty much scrimmages. And then we go on Wednesday, which will be, a 2-hour practice. Will be the first time we get 2 hours of exposure. And, that will be much more situational work. Thursday, they have a recovery day. And then we go Friday leading into a scrimmage on Saturday.
By the way, if you want the full LSU practice report, it's always free at louisianasports.net. Hunt and I are going out there, and we're sort of trying to divide and conquer. So he's taking his notes, I'm taking mine. We're getting two pairs of eyes on everything, combining our notes, and it's up there for free at louisianasports.net if you want to get it. Again, always free, everything, louisianasports.net. If you're a Whodad, of course, Ross Jackson's done an incredible job with his practice reports as well. Always free, no paywalls, no freemium, no article limits. It's just free, like for real free. Just it's all there at louisianasports.net. Just do us a favor. You see it on Twitter, retweet it, share it on Facebook. Text it to a friend who loves LSU or the Saints. Let them know. Got all your coverage there for free at louisianasports.net. So after the 7-on-7 period and the offensive defensive line pass rush drill, LSU on Monday went to an 11-on-11 period. And similar to Saturday, this was it was a situational period. So it's not like a scrimmage where you start at the 20 or the 30 and it's just you're running a series. It's situational. So 2nd and 10, 2nd and 4, 3rd and 5, whatever it is. So basically Joe Sloan is calling plays for that situation. But it is still 11-on-11, and they've got helmets and shoulder pads, and they're out there going after it. So on Monday, the ones went out there and ran 6 plays. It was interesting because this is the second practice in a row now where we've seen an odd front. So very clearly, LSU has their pass rush front defensively, and today the ones across that defensive front initially, left to right, were Gabe Relaford, Jack Pyburn at tackle, Bernard Gooden at the other tackle, and then Kalaj Cobbins at end. And they are rotating freely. The only ones that were locked into their spots were West Weeks, Whit Weeks, and Harold Perkins. Corners and safeties rotated a bunch. So, like, when they were at 7-on-7, TaMarcus Cooley and A.J. Hulsey were the ones. When they went to the 11-on-11 period, it was Jordan Gilbert and Deshaun Spears who were back there. So, it was Javen Toviano. But anyway, they'd run a play or 2 plays, and then it would be like wholesale changes. So the defense, we've talked about it. Maybe my biggest takeaway of camp so far is the depth defensively. You have nearly, I was looking at on Saturday, Saturday's second team, and I tallied up, I believe, 197 games played among the guys that were with the second defense on Saturday. When you're talking about Patrick Payton and Jamari Butler and Jacobian Guillory and Bernard Gooden and A.J. Hulsey and TaMarcus Cooley and Jakeem Jackson. Like, when you look at the twos, it's like the depth is incredible because they're all dudes that have played and started major football. So that's going to be a giant strength of the defense, is the depth and the ability to rotate, stay fresh without a real drop-off. So the ones go out there. First down, little screen pass to Barian Brown. Shocker, they throw him the ball every practice. Get used to hearing it. Number 6 is going to get a lot of targets, and he's really been the beneficiary of Aaron Anderson's absence. Barian Brown's getting more and more targets here. So screen pass to Barian Brown. Second play, they run beautiful play where Nuss sort of Tetris-pieced his way through pressure, stepped up in the pocket, hit Chris Hilton over the middle for about a 10, 12-yard gain. Third play, they ran a tight end screen to Trey'Dez Green. Just Nuss popped up, threw it to the left sideline, and went right through Trey'Dez's hands. Joe Sloan screamed, "Come on, Trey'Dez!" A play he's got to make. It wasn't a great ball by Nuss. It was up and behind him, but it's still a play you expect Trey'Dez Green to make. The defense was right on him. He would have gone anywhere, but you still expect him to make the catch. Fourth play was a gorgeous route and a gorgeous pass. Xavier Thomas on the left side ran a stop route, came back toward the line of scrimmage. Nuss threw an absolute dart, hit him right in the 0 on the sideline. They've run that play pretty consistently with a lot of success, and not that dissimilar from the route Xavier was running on the play at Texas A&M where Nuss threw the interception. If you go back and watch the play, Xavier was on the sideline, that left sideline coming back toward Nuss, but Nuss threw a beautiful ball. The fifth play was a run by Caden Durham, stuff by Bernard Gooden, and I'm telling you, y'all, if you have not taken a gander at the roster, just remember 88. Bernard Gooden is the South Florida transfer. He's not much to look at. He's 6'1", 268 on the roster. He wears number 88, but I'm telling you, they can't block him. Or Josh Thompson can't block him. And Josh Thompson's a good player. Like, he's not having trouble with anybody else. It's just when 88 is lined up on 56, 88 keeps making plays. He has been so impressive on the interior, Bernard Gooden has. He came up with a big run stuff there. And then on the sixth play, they ran a draw. It was a counter to Caden Durham. He had a nice gain to the right side. The twos go in there. They run a screen pass to Xavier Thomas. The second play, they ran a deep ball, post route to Barian Brown down the right sideline, and Michael Van Buren threw it about 5 yards out of bounds. If I have one big takeaway from Michael Van Buren right now, he is not accurate. He's not a super big guy. He's athletic. He's got a good arm. Accuracy is a problem right now for Michael Van Buren. And hopefully, knock on Formica. We never have to find out in a meaningful way this year. But be it in a backup role this year or competing for a starting job next year, the thing Michael Van Buren has to work on is his accuracy. It's his single biggest issue right now. Caleb Jackson on the third play, they were in it with Caleb Jackson. He was stuffed by Don McKinley. And then the fourth play, they ran a crossing route to Kyle Parker, and it was down around the 10 or 15-yard line, and Michael Van Buren airmailed it. I mean, he airmailed it into the end zone where nobody was. It's just, that's a problem. It's like, you don't have to know football to go out there and go, that's not where you're supposed to throw it. So, good athlete, good arm, all that stuff. The accuracy is a problem he's got to work on. But if you remember, that was the knock on Jaden Daniels when he showed up here. Joe Sloan went to work with him, and he became the most accurate thrower in football. So, time to get there, but not good right now. The ones went back out there. First play, this was when they ran the tight end screen to Bauer Sharp, and Harold Perkins shed his block, TFL. Perkins was awesome today. West Weeks was guarding Trades Green on a middle crossing route. West came up with a big pass breakup. Beautiful play defensively by the senior. The biggest play running the ball, Caden Durham had about a 60-yard touchdown run on a zone read off the left side. They've done that twice now. They did it Saturday and again today. Both runs have gone to the left side behind Tyree Adams and DJ Chester. And both times they've blocked it perfectly and they've executed. And when Caden Durham hits that crease, he's got another gear. So that's exciting to see. But I also think back at the beginning of last year, and really the big play in the run game was the problem for LSU defensively. And you've seen it rear its ugly head here. So it's one of those things where, are you excited about Durham ripping off a 60-yard touchdown run, or are you holding your breath again because the defense was susceptible to big plays in the running game a year ago? The fourth play in that second series for the ones, Harold Perkins came on a blitz, pressured Nuss. Nuss just threw it in the dirt. Fifth play, the offense has done this to the defense every team period we've seen so far. They hard count, defense jumps, free play. The first day of practice, they hit Barry Brown for a touchdown. On Saturday, they hard counted the defense, jumped, free play. They hit Chris Hilton down the right sideline. Today, hard count, defense jumps, free play down the right sideline. They went to Trades Green on Jordan Gilbert. Trades high-pointed the ball, came down toe tap for about a 25-yard gain. Beautiful play by Trades. By the way, he needed the toe tap because if he'd come down flat-footed, he would have been out of bounds. So just great body control for a giant man. And then not surprising, right? I mean, it's why he's a basketball player and he's as athletic as he is. And then the last play for the ones this was the throw of the day by Nuss. Chris Hilton on the left side. Nuss just 30 yards, dropped it in a bucket over his shoulder right on the sideline. Cortez Hankton was running downfield, throwing his hands in the air. It was awesome. Just beautiful, man. Nuss and Hilton have that rapport, which is so fun to watch. The twos went back out for the final 4 snaps. They ran a shovel pass to Harlem Berry, and Devon Keys filled it for a stuff. Might have been a TFL. The second play, A.J. Halsey from his safety spot came up. They tried a shallow route to Xavier Thomas. Halsey hit him, dislodged the ball. Halsey's going to start. He's 13. I don't think it's a stretch to say 13 is their best safety right now. Halsey, who came in from Houston. The third play was a low snap. They handed it off to Jawan Johnson, and then Tylen Singleton got a TFL. That's another guy to keep in mind. Tylen Singleton on Saturday got some reps with the ones at linebacker in place of Devon Keys when Whit Weeks wasn't out there. So it was West and Tylen Singleton, the first linebackers on Saturday. I'm not saying that's how it's going to be. I'm just saying 46 has taken a lot of strides this year, and they like him a lot. And every time they put him on the field, he keeps making plays. And then the final play was Van Buren was pressured. He just scrambled for about a 3-4-yard gain up the middle. So I would tell you my big takeaways are when they go individual, it really favors the offense. When they go deep, when they go 11 on 11, it feels like the defense has the upper hand for the majority of the plays, but the offense has been able to pop some big plays, both in the passing game and the running game. Typically, the defense is ahead of the offense at this part of camp. The past few years, that just hasn't been the case because the defense is really bad. And the offense, especially in 23, was just lapping the defense. And clearly we saw that manifest on Saturdays. This is one of those where it feels like I know what that offense is. Like, I know Garrett Nussmeier's good. I know those receivers are good. I know Caden Durham's good. I know they got starters on the offensive line that are good. So when that defense is making plays, I look at that as validation of the talent they have on defense. That these guys are coming together and are going to be much improved from a year ago. The thing that I think is undeniable, they're loaded. They've got talent all over the field at every level. It's really just a matter. It's an embarrassment of riches at receiver. The defensive front seven is. I'm just telling you, Patrick Payton's out there running with the twos. It's ridiculous the amount of depth and talent they have. They just got to bring it all together. It's a massive chore week one going to Clemson. I know all that, but this team, talent-wise, has talent and depth everywhere. So, see if they can bring it all together and put it together for a good season. All right, it's After Further Review. We're brought to you by Parish Restoration. Kill mold, remove odor. If you had water intrusion, you probably have mold. Louisiana is the mold capital of the world. It's wet and it's humid. That grows mold. So if you have mold, think you might. If you've had water intrusion in the past, you probably need to get checked for mold. Let our friends at Parish Restoration come check you out. Go to parishrestoration.com. Just fill out the form on the homepage, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. Doesn't matter if it's your home, if it's a commercial building, church, school, office, gym, you get odor from like sweat. You want to knock all that out, all the bacteria causing that odor, boom, let them come in, spray their patented non-toxic dry fog. It's Parish Restoration, parishrestoration.com, parishrestoration.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Ross Jackson in 45 minutes. Talk a little who dat. We'll go around the SEC, let you hear from Kellen Moore, who met with reporters after the 126th place scrimmage on Sunday for the New Orleans Saints. And I'm excited in hour 3, if you missed it, we will have E.J. Kuiper and Ryan Cross in studio with us from Our Lady of the Lake. They're going to join us to talk about a very cool NIL project they're working on, but also the new basketball arena project. Of course, the news broke several weeks back, or leaked, that Our Lady of the Lake is working in conjunction with LSU and the developer for the naming rights of the new basketball arena when it's built. So we'll kind of get an update on the progress of that project and what needs to happen, why it's delayed, all that sort of stuff. So we'll get to that coming up in hour number 3. All right, glad you're here. We'll go around the SEC next.
After Further Review.
Man, Sunday was a pretty awesome day to just lay by the pool. And that's what I did. Put Drew in the pool. Erica lounged out got a little sun. Played some tunes in our Bluetooth speakers, which are all throughout the garden and by the pool area and everything. It's our own outdoor oasis. And you can have that as well. And if you're thinking of building a pool or maybe renovating or remodeling the pool at your home currently, you may have the question, who do you call? Because there's so many great pool builders. There's so many known pool builders. Well, only one was on Pool and Spa Magazine's list of the top 50 pool builders in America, and that's Duplessis Builders. And only one will give you a 10-year workmanship warranty when the industry standard is 1 year. It's Duplessis Builders. Learn more, duplessisbuilders.net, duplessisbuilders.net.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunnyquip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Awesome practice today, awesome scrimmage. We ran a ton of plays, we ran 126 plays, so might have broke a record, but that's all good. Games are 3 hours long, so it was good acclimation for us in general.
That was Kellen Moore after Sunday's 126 play scrimmage, which is absurd. Ross Jackson from Louisiana Sports.net was there. He literally charted all 126 plays. So New Orleans ran 89 pass plays. It was 18 series. 18 among the three quarterbacks. So Spencer Rattler had 6 series. Tyler Shuck got 8. And then Jake Haener had 4. 126 plays, 89 passes to 37 runs. They were very intentionally trying to air it out, and Kellen Moore explained why.
I'm calling it for these guys to be successful. That's my whole goal. That should always be my goal when I'm calling these plays. We did throw it a lot more probably than we normally would in a game setting. Just put these guys through more reps and more opportunities. So certainly, if there's 126 plays, I don't know, there's probably I broke a record for passes, but that was part of it. We wanted to get these guys many different reps.
It still feels pretty obvious that Spencer Rattler is leading the way right now. I will be so fascinated to watch how this evolves over 3 preseason games. And each guy, I'm certain, is going to get their share to take the lion's share of reps in a preseason game. But it's going to resolve itself. We're all going to go in and watch these preseason games. And, well, I'll be watching the preseason games. Y'all going to be waiting to hear what I and Ross Jackson have to say about it. Maybe you'll watch preseason. I love watching the preseason games. But it's going to reveal itself. Who should be the starters, and who should be the starting quarterback. So we'll know whenever the 3 preseason games are done. The first is this Sunday. Saints are off today, Monday. They'll practice Tuesday. They'll head out to L.A. They'll have a couple of joint practices with the Chargers, and then on Sunday they'll play the L.A. Chargers in a preseason game. And we'll get our first look at all these guys in somewhat real action, in preseason game action. So I'm excited about it. But what a big step on Sunday with a 126-play scrimmage. All right, it's after further review. We're brought to you by Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows, door, siding. Oh, yeah, they do shutters as well. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Hey, if you know Clay Young, text him right now and tell him what I'm doing right now. Because Clay Young, who I've known for literally since my first day in radio in 2003, who is a colleague and a friend, just called me. Like, I don't expect everybody to know my schedule. You know what I mean? Like, I understand there are people in life that I know who don't know my schedule. But, like, Clay's a radio guy by trade who I've known for 22 years. Like, Clay, what do I do every day 3 to 6? What would you call me at 3:38 for? You think I'm just going to stop my show and pick up the phone? Like, if you know Clay Young, text him and call him a goofball. And please text Clay Young right now or call and tell him what I'm doing right now, just in case if he seemingly forgot. All right, it's after further review. Let's go around the SEC.
Around the SEC, bringing you the biggest news from the nation's best conference, the Florida Gators.
DJ Lagway practiced Saturday for the first time since camp opened. A little bit of progress there. Dealing with a strained calf. So some limited reps there. Of course, he had previously had the shoulder issue. He apparently has overcome that. Now dealing with the calf issue. Napier, no timetable on a return to full health. But Lagway, of course, missed all of spring with that shoulder injury.
The Texas Longhorns.
Offensive lineman Andre Kojo is out for the season due to a knee injury. Kojo was battling for the starting right tackle job. He was competing with sophomore Brandon Baker. Kojo's a redshirt sophomore himself. Did not play as a true freshman, then played in 4 games a season ago, was battling for the starting right tackle job this year.
The Ole Miss Rebels.
Ole Miss is set to add DeWeeke Wilson to a recruiting staff role. It's, of course, an off-field role. They had 2 openings after Kelvin Bolden came to Baton Rouge to join LSU as the assistant GM, and then Alex Brown left for the Atlanta Falcons scouting department. So Wilson's a Vicksburg native. He's an Ole Miss alum. He's currently the cornerbacks coach at Old Dominion. Previously worked at Indiana as well, but now will join Lane Kiffin's staff in an off-field role.
Texas A&M!
Jace Johnson, the number 3 quarterback in the 2027 class, has committed to Texas A&M, and Mike Elko, 6 foot, 210 pounder. He's a dual threat quarterback out of Valdosta, Georgia, the number 63 overall recruit. Had a bunch of offers as he enters his junior year of high school. Florida, Florida State, Miami, Mississippi State, South Carolina, Tennessee, and others. Johnson is the Aggies' first commit for 2027.
The Georgia Bulldogs.
And Anthony Lannon Jr. has committed to Georgia over Georgia Tech. He's a defensive lineman out of the state of Georgia. His dad played for the Bulldogs in the 1990s. 6'2", 265-pounder. He is Georgia's 31st commit for the 2026 class. All right, there you have it. That is around the SEC. So glad to have you aboard with us here. Always love telling you about our friends at Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Windows door siding. They do shutters as well. Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Great time of year as you're just getting beat down by this oppressive heat. Let our friends over at Relief Windows get you some relief by their energy-efficient replacement windows that'll keep the cool air in, the warm air out. It's Relief Windows and ReliefWindows.com. Speaking of commitments, LSU did land Deuce Geralds on Saturday, the big 4-star defensive lineman out of the state of Georgia, coming up in about 18 minutes at the top of hour number 2. I want to give you my thoughts on that. And also, based on some of the convos I had, how they were able to get that done, which was a major coup, getting Geralds away when it seemed last week like Geralds was a heavy lean toward Oregon, and then LSU ended up closing the deal with him. So, long way to go before December, when all these prospects can actually put pen to paper and make it official, but really significant for these guys right now entering their senior years as they make their commitments before they go into their senior years, and Deuce Geralds picks LSU. So we'll get to that again here in about 18 minutes from right now. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break, come back, wrap up hour number 1. I got TV ratings in from the Hall of Fame game on Thursday, and if you wonder why they play the Hall of Fame game, this is why. We'll explain next. AFR.
AFR.
AFR is brought to you by Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Visit yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. Yes, they have ED treatments, not just pills. They have the little blue pill. But if that hasn't worked for you in the past, you need other therapies, they have that. But it's so much more than just ED. Hormone replacement therapy. Simple blood test can let you know if you're a candidate. You want to feel like your younger self? Wake up with tons of energy like you did when you were younger? Burn fat, build muscle, sleep great at night, have a better libido, hormone replacement therapy could be the answer. It's safe. It's affordable. At Goodwood, lowest prices, never any contracts. It all starts with a simple blood test. So go for that consultation. yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com. And ask about things like NAD+, BPC 157. So many therapies that can help you feel your best, live your optimal life. Learn more at yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Luba Workers Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool that crisp, refreshing Dulce.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Remember, you can always email us, tweet us, or text us. Text in the 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400. Lots of ways that you get involved in the show if you'd like to do that. TV ratings are in for the Hall of Fame game last Thursday. Chargers-Lions. NBC generated 6.9 million viewers on average for the broadcast, the biggest Hall of Fame game audience since 2021 when the Steelers played the Cowboys. That one averaged 7.31 million. Naturally, it was the Steelers and the Cowboys, arguably the two biggest brands in the entire NFL. This was Lions-Chargers. And ain't nobody liked the Chargers. Like, they didn't like the Chargers in San Diego. They packed up, moved to L.A. Ain't nobody like them in L.A. And Justin Herbert wasn't playing. But Lions and the Chargers, 6.9 million viewers. For some context, Celebrity Family Feud finished second on ABC, finished second in that slot with 3.84 million viewers on average. And then Big Brother on CBS had 2.96 million viewers. They were third. Press Your Luck followed with 2.4 million. No women, no women, no women, no women, no women. Stop!
There we go. I mean, we've talked about it. It's a great show. It's a great show. That was a little too accurate there.
Someone said last time we did the Press Your Luck, I did the Press Your Luck impression. People were like, that was really good.
Yeah, I mean, that was right down to the whammy laugh.
But I told
man.
you,
That's strong, man.
I told you, if I were on Press Your Luck, I would not shout no whammy. I would shout big money.
Yeah,
like the Wheel of Fortune. It's about what you focus on. You attract what you focus on. If you're yelling no whammies, the brain doesn't compute a negative. All your brain understands is whammy, 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 whammy. You're bringing whammies into your life. I don't want that. I'd be like, big money, big money, big money. Let's go.
Bring that into life.
No women, no women, no women, no women, no women. Stop. And the stupid whammies dressed up like a cowboy or something.
So good.
So bad.
I love it.
Stupid.
Those things crack me up.
Stupid.
I like when they insult the contestant.
Clay Young texted me back. He said, I owe you, LOL. Hopefully they're blowing up his phone. Clay, you don't owe me anything. I've known you for 25 years. And you calling me during my show. Like, what do you think every day? I mean, it's like your spouse. Like, you know what your spouse does, right? Like, if Erica called me, like, what? Oh, you know, I'm going to call Matt today. When am I going to call him? 3:38 in the afternoon. Maybe he'll pick up. No, I'm never picking up at 3:38 in the afternoon. If, like, Jim from Detroit, who I met at an airport 5 months ago, who we exchanged contacts because maybe we have a possible business dealing or something that could make sense, calls me. I get it. Jim from Detroit may not know what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, yeah.
Clay Young knows I'm doing. What were you going to say?
I was going to say about Jim from Detroit. Like, yeah, no, I mean, he could even, like, Detroit's on the same times, same time zone. Maybe he gets confused with time zone, something like that. But no, I mean, Clay's here. Clay's been on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean.
Yeah, I'm on air, Clay. Don't call me at 3:38. I'm on air. News flash. All right, it's after further review. Glad you're hanging out with us here. Man, weekend's in the rearview mirror. Can't wait for the next one, though. Great opportunity to get by Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com for your reservation. Y'all, a couple things to remind you. Football season's almost here. I was talking to Chef Layton late last week. They're taking reservations already for the Friday before home games. Or Saturday or away games or whenever. They're taking reservations for football season. So if there's a game specifically you're going to want to pop off on one of those weekends for a home game, like, it's going to be jam-packed. Get your reservation now. Like home game against Florida, home game against A&M, Arkansas, whatever. Get your reservations now. SupperClubBTR.com, SupperClubBTR.com. I tell you all the time about the amazing steaks. But listen, maybe you don't want to go get like Japanese Wagyu, this incredible steak. That's fine. Whatever you have, it's going to be the best version of that thing you've ever had. Like, Erica loves the truffled lobster gnocchi. It's house-made gnocchi sautéed in a black truffle Parmesan cream sauce, topped with a whole 1-pound de-shelled lobster and sprayed with truffle oil. It's incredible. So my point is, you don't have to get steak, but whatever you get is going to be the best version of that dish you've ever had. It's at Supper Club. SupperClubBTR.com. Get your reservations now. Like, if you try to wait till like Tuesday before the Florida game, you're not going to get in. Like, if just think advance a little bit and book those reservations at SupperClubBTR.com. SupperClubBTR.com. Brian Kelly met with reporters after practice today, and covered a lot of ground. One of the things that was really interesting, and I'm going to have to give myself more time to delve in on this because I'm going to want to expand a little bit more. But one of the things he talked about that was newsy was Jawan Johnson. So Jawan Johnson was we all know the winningest or the most decorated quarterback in the history of the state of Louisiana in high school football. No one scored more yards or accomplished more yards, more touchdowns than Jawan Johnson in a high school career in Louisiana. Comes to LSU. Last year, he's a defensive back. John Emery gets hurt. They move him to running back. In spring, they move him to quarterback. And then Brian Kelly today, because we've seen Jawan Johnson in the individual periods working with quarterbacks, but when they go team, he's playing running back. Like they've direct snapped it to him. They've handed it to him. Like he is playing running back in these team periods. This is what Brian Kelly said today.
Well, he's given everything we've asked him, probably more. He's a special kid. He'll do anything. We got him working at quarterback right now, wide receiver, running back. I think when it comes to making a decision on Jawan, it's how far do we go this year with him? Because we didn't redshirt him last year. And I want to make sure that his time is valuable and impactful. So whatever happens with Jawan, he's going to play 4 games. Question is whether he plays 5. And that will be dictated as he performs and as the offense kind of works around him.
It reminds me a lot of what they did last year with West Weeks. It became very apparent that when West got injured, that they were going to try to redshirt him. But he could play 4 games, and that he could play in the bowl game as well if they'd held him that number. And ultimately, they were able to get home with West playing just the 4 games and then in the bowl game. My question is, are you going to use Jawan in the Louisiana Tech and Southeastern and Western Kentucky and Vanderbilt games? Or are you going to use him against Clemson, A&M, Bama, Oklahoma? Because what if that gadget play at the goal line is the difference in a swing game against Clemson? Maybe. That's what I would do. That's a guy who knows what to do with the ball in his hand, and they don't know what's coming when 8's in the game. That could be a pretty significant weapon worth keeping an eye on this year. See if they can afford not to play Jawan Johnson. Talk about it much more as we get closer. Hour 2 next.
AFR.
We're brought to you by First South Farm Credit, firstsouthland.com, firstsouthland.com. Of course, if you're thinking of buying land, your first call should be to First South Farm Credit. Y'all know this, but I'll say it. Land is a finite resource, y'all. They ain't making more. I don't think Columbus is sailing the ocean blue in 2022. Well, it's 2025 now. In 2032 and finding new lands. They're not going to venture upon some uncharted territory and find some giant land that we can go settle. Maybe Mars. But let's operate within the context of our reality. Land is a finite resource. It's never going down in value. Could be a great investment property. Ask your CPA if there are tax benefits to owning land. Or maybe you want that hunting property, that land to build your family's dream home. Learn more at firstsouthland.com. Your first call should be to First South Farm Credit.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunnyquip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Luba Workers Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your home
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle.
This is SportsCenter.
De'Aaron Fox has agreed to a 4-year, $229 million extension, no player option in the final year. It keeps Fox in San Antonio through the 2029-2030 season, reports ESPN NBA insider Shams Charania.
This is a two-way commitment that the Spurs make, even in the wake of drafting Dylan Harper. They have Stephon Castle, the reigning Rookie of the Year, as well. But that relationship between Victor Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox, very important. Those are the two leaders of this young core moving forward that keeps De'Aaron Fox there long term.
NFL, in an interview published today, Cowboys owner Jerry Jones told USA Today when it comes to the situation with star pass rusher Micah Parsons, it's nothing really new for him. Said he won't consider trading Parsons, and he called the trade request just part of negotiation. Added he's in no hurry to get something done. Parsons, who wants to be among the NFL's highest paid players, is at training camp but not practicing. Bills running back James Cook not practicing his second straight day as he seeks a contract extension. No expansion this season for the men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments. The fields will remain at 68 teams.
Hey, it's Michelle Smallman, and coming up Tuesday, we've talked a lot about the expectations for Caleb Williams this season, but I'll tell you whether they're actually way too high. It's Unsportsmanlike, 6 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio, ESPN2, and ESPNU.
From Studio 2 at the World.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
Let's ride! Go!
Hour 2, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us, AFR. Presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
You're a loser, Matt!
Hey, shut up, kid. Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Music. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. Get out there and make it a good one. We'll talk to Ross Jackson in about 15 minutes from right now, 1 hour from right now. EJ Kuiper, who's the president CEO of the FMOL, Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System, along with Ryan Cross from OLOL and FMOL. They'll be in studio with us. I want to talk a little bit about the LSU Arena project and also some really cool NIL stuff that Our Lady of the Lake is doing. So we'll talk about that coming up in 1 hour from right now with those guys in our studio. LSU had practice on Saturday in fall camp. They're back on the practice field Monday, but in between the two, LSU landed another massive commitment for the class of 2026, and this one was probably a bit of a surprise. Duce Geralds, the top 100 defensive lineman out of the state of Georgia, picked LSU over Oregon, Ole Miss. Michigan and Ohio State also had hats on the table. But when we talked to Shea Dixon early last week, the feeling was in the industry that Geralds was leaning towards Oregon. Well, I got a call late last week, a Thursday morning, and it was pretty apparent that the feeling around LSU was that they were about to get a double dose of good news on the recruiting trail. Darius McKinley was the first obvious one, and that happened. But that wasn't a great surprise. Darius McKinley was thought to be a heavy lean toward LSU. His brother's on the team. He's from Acadiana, all that sort of stuff. Geralds was surprising. Now, there's three things that have to line up to land a player like Deuce Geralds. I'm going to get to those in just a second, like the tripod of things that had to align for this to happen. I'm going to get to that in a second. But if you're not familiar, let me give you the bio real quick on Geralds. So he's out of Georgia, 6'1", 268. He is a high 4-star. In the consensus, in the composite, he is the number 93 player in the country, the 8th best defensive lineman. ESPN ranks him the 40th overall player and the 2nd best defensive lineman in the country. And I can hear you saying, Matt, you always say I don't care about the roster, the rating, or the ranking. I care more about who has the offers. That's what people always say, that they say about me.
That's exactly what they say about you. That you don't care about the star rating, you care about the offer list.
Glad you brought that up, Muse. So let's go through the offer list. You might want to sit down and take a breath because it's going to take me a second to get through it. LSU, Ohio State, Oregon, Ole Miss, Alabama, Michigan, Oklahoma, North Carolina, Miami, Georgia Tech, Auburn, Southern Cal, Georgia, Clemson, Florida, Vandy, NC State, Virginia Tech, Notre Dame, Texas, Texas A&M, Tennessee, Florida State, Penn State, South Carolina, Arkansas, Indiana, Louisville, Kentucky, Kansas, Pittsburgh, West Virginia, Mississippi State, Kansas State, Duke, Central Florida, Cincinnati, Missouri, Tulane, then a whole bunch of other small schools that don't matter. Bottom line is everybody wanted Deuce Geralds. Awesome player. Explosive, dynamic, disruptive player on the interior of the defensive line. So, everybody wanted him. LSU got him. And this is so significant for the future of the defensive line. As a matter of fact, after Geralds committed, Steve Wiltfong, National Recruiting Director for On3, said point blank, this is how he characterized this LSU defensive line recruiting class right now.
Well, you look at the strength of LSU's class right now. It is on the defensive line. 4 top 100 players committed to the Tigers this cycle. Deuce Geralds, the latest, he joins number 1 jumbo athlete Lamar Brown. And you look at the guys that they have in the fold. Richard Anderson rivals number 2 defensive lineman Trenton Henderson, one of the most coveted edge rushers in the country. They landed Darius McKinley yesterday to the fold, and DeAnthony Lafayette recently committed. This is the top defensive line class in the country. It's championship caliber.
And it's not particularly close. Consider this. The 2 edge players you have committed. 5-star Lamar Brown, the number 1 edge in the country. 5-star Trenton Henderson, the number 36 overall prospect in the country. On the interior now, you have Richard Anderson, the number 49 overall prospect in the country, the number 2 interior defensive lineman. And Deuce Geralds, the number 93 overall prospect, the number 8 interior defensive lineman. And you also have DeAnthony Lafayette and Darius McKinley. Like, this is how it's supposed to look. Do you realize LSU has not had a first-team All-American on the defensive line since Sam Montgomery in 2011? LSU has not had a first-team All-American defensive tackle since Drake Nevis in 2010. Y'all, LSU built its great defenses around Shad Lavallee and Kyle Williams and Marcus Spears and the late Marquise Hill and Claude Roten and Drake Nevis and Michael Brockers and Benny Logan and Sam Montgomery and Barkevius Mingo and the defensive line. It was DBU was all the rage, but they built it through the defensive line. It has been a decade and a half since LSU's had a first-team All-American on the defensive line. Now, look at what next year is going to look like. I mean, we've already talked about this year with all the transfers they've added, in addition to Dominic McKinley a year older, Ahmad Bro a year older, Jacobian Guillory coming back, bringing in Bernard Gooden, Peyton, Pyburn, Butler, Relaford. They got tons of dudes. They're going to lose a bunch of them after this year. But now you look at next year with Dominic McKinley, former 5-star, Ahmad Bro going into his junior year next year. This class of 5-stars, Damian Shanklin, who you've got this year, who looks freaking like an Adonis, 6'5", 260 on the edge. All the interior players, Buddy Mathis, Brandon Brown, Zion Williams, like this class. Sadir Mitchell should be back again next year. It's how it's supposed to look. So how did they pull this off with Geralds? I mentioned it was a three-pronged approach. Number one, first and foremost, you have to be able to set the hook with the player and have that emotional connection. That was an easy one here. Gerald's father is from Baton Rouge, went to Scotlandville. He was recruited by Coach O and Frank Wilson to Ole Miss, where he went and played. He was on those 2 Cotton Bowl teams under Houston Nutt. And Deuce Geralds spent part of his childhood in Baton Rouge, talked after his commitment about actually playing 6U ball with Richard Anderson out of New Orleans. So that was there. He called LSU his dream school from the time he was a kid. So that part was there and was obvious. So that check, right? Frank Wilson's recruiting you. It's a chance to go play for in your hometown. Check. That's all there. The second part of this is the football component had to make sense. And I know I've explained this before, but it bears repeating what Kyle Williams is looking for at defensive tackle. And it's different than Bo Davis. And someone asked, hey, if Bo Davis was still the defensive line coach, would they have gotten Geralds? And I don't know. But the best example that I have given and will continue to give is look at the transfers on the defensive line that you got under Bo Davis and under Kyle Williams. Bo Davis brought Sadir Mitchell here, 6'5", 260. Kyle Williams wanted Bernard Gooden, 6'1", 268. That's the difference. Bo Davis wanted gigantic, space-eating humans. Kyle Williams wants smaller, faster, powerful, explosive dudes that can get upfield and make plays. Duce Geralds fits the mold of what Kyle Williams wants. He looks almost exactly like Bernard Gooden, the South Florida transfer, who's been unblockable in this camp so far. So that part is check. You check the emotional attachment. You check the football box as well. Then it's got to be the money. And what I was told, some conversations I had, is that Oregon's offer was more than LSU's. But there's an important component, and this is where Austin Thomas and his staff, they are so important in this process. They were able to explain and do a cost-benefit analysis with the Geralds family to make this make sense. Where, yes, maybe Oregon, their top-line number is more. And LSU, by the way, was competitive. Like, LSU can compete with Oregon. Not for 25 prospects in a class. But if they want to go toe-to-toe on 2 to 3 guys that they've identified, Lamar Brown, Deuce Geralds, there's the 2 or 3 guys in the class where you feel like you got to go toe-to-toe with that. They can make it work. You're not going to be able to do it for 25 guys. But when you handpick the ones that you are prioritized, you can make it work financially. But think of it this way. Gerald's family lives in Oregon or in Georgia. What's it going to cost to take 7 plane trips a year or 8 plane trips from Atlanta to Eugene, Oregon? To fly across the country, to stay in hotels, the food, all that sort of the disruption, leaving work, taking off. When you put that down on a spreadsheet, and then you realize if your son's playing at LSU, where, by the way, you have family in Baton Rouge still, and you can drive to any game in the Southeastern Conference, it starts to make more sense. Because even if Oregon's offering a slightly higher top-line number, the net is going to be what and what because of all you're going to have to spend to travel to watch him play. So much of this is just the coordinated recruiting effort among the on-field staff, the recruiting staff, and the quote-unquote front office now, putting together a comprehensive plan to show the player and the player's family how and why it makes the most sense. And that's how they were able to land Deuce Geralds. And this is a major coup because beginning of last week, everybody thought he was picking Oregon. And LSU stayed on it. They made the right pitch, and they landed him. Now, they got him in December. He's got to sign, make it official, show up on campus, and stay for 3 or 4 years and be an impactful guy. But if he does, you can start to see how they piece together this defensive front to look like how it used to look when LSU was churning out dominant defenses year after year after year. And hopefully Deuce Geralds will be a part of the next one. All right, it's After Further Review. We are brought to you by our friends at Our Lady of the Lake, championship health partner of LSU athletics, but not just championship health partner serving the student athletes. Yes, when you go out to LSU, the physicians, the trainers, those are Our Lady of the Lake physicians taking care of the LSU football players, but also the LSU students, but also everyday champions like you and me. Whenever we're talking about healthcare, there's two things we want. We want access and we want convenience. You want to be able to get in and see your doctor when you want to get in and see your doctor. Our Lady of the Lake, part of the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System, a multi-state health system with hospitals and clinics all over. They provide that access and that convenience and, of course, world-class care. Part of the championship health partner of LSU athletics, it's Our Lady of the Lake. You can learn more at ololrmc.com/LSU, Our Lady of the Lake Regional Medical Center, ololrmc.com/LSU. Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, together, we roar. Okay, y'all, it is After Further Review. Speaking of the lake, EJ Kuiper, Ryan Cross from the lake, they'll be in studio with us in 45 minutes talking about the LSU, the new basketball arena project, cool NIL thing they have going on as well. We'll talk about all that coming up here in about 45 minutes. Let me knock out a break. We'll switch from the purple and gold to the black and gold. When we come back, Ross Jackson will join us, give us a little update. Saints were off today, but what we saw over the weekend, what we should look forward to this week with the Saints heading out to L.A. for their joint practices with the Chargers. We'll get to that next on AFR.
AFR.
The Watermark downtown Baton Rouge is celebrating its centennial, the building, I should say. I've told you before, it opened as the original Louisiana National Bank. It was the original high-rise building in downtown Baton Rouge. And now it's been redeveloped into Watermark Baton Rouge, which is the premier luxury hotel in Baton Rouge. If you've never been, I say it all the time, just find an excuse to go experience this venue. Maybe it's dinner or Sunday brunch at the Gregory. Maybe you're walking downtown, have a sandwich at Milford's on 3rd. Maybe just pop on into the lobby and have a glass of wine or a cocktail at the lobby bar. Maybe you're having an event and it's a great excuse to have a company board meeting. The bank vaults down below the building, or they've converted them into meeting space and private dining. Or you're looking for a place to stay for a little staycation or football weekend. It's Watermark Baton Rouge.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. It's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunnyquip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Luba Workers Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority.
It's our purpose.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing needs.
From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
No, we just want them to just play ball. That'll be, really the remainder of preseason. We'll obviously roadmap those games pretty good, but this was just purely call it and react.
126 play scrimmage. A 126 play scrimmage, none of it scripted. Kellen Moore off the cuff. Ross Jackson of LouisianaSports.net, Locked On Saints podcast. He was there, God bless him, charting every single rep. He's here now. Hey, man, how are you?
Hey, man, I'm doing great. You know what's crazy is that 126 plays doesn't even include, the penalties, the field goals, the things that didn't get counted in the offensive play side. So there was even more. It's crazy. It was a busy day.
How many sheets of paper to chart all 126 plays?
I think I lost count at there were 18 series. Some series were 3 and out, so it was easy to get them in there. So I was probably around 8 or 9 sheets of paper. Not too bad.
You're out there doing the Lord's work, and we appreciate it. So Kellen Moore said it. It's the longest scrimmage that he or anyone had been associated with. What prompted that on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, that was something that Kellen just wanted to be able to do. He wanted to get away from the scripted play side to where, it's not necessarily that the offense knows what the defense is doing and the defense knows what the offense is doing in those situations, but, you get those plays as a player the night before, and then you kind of get the opportunity to get familiar with them, and then you show up the next morning, and then you're running those plays. And so he wanted to kind of take that level of preparedness out, which doesn't really exist in the game situation. Sure, you can you can study your playbook all you want the night before a game, but when you show up, you don't know what's coming at you, when, and what situations you're going to be facing, and all these other things. So this gave them, over the course of 18 different drives, to be able to operate with different procedures, operate under different scenarios, different situations, different circumstances, and call plays that mesh and mold and change and ebb and flow the way that an NFL game would, and both sides of the football having to respond to that. There were about 89 passes thrown that were counted. And as a part of that, you saw a lot of the defense having to adjust to a pretty heavy passing day. Didn't see a lot of the run game mixed in, but certainly some of it. So I think all of it was just about getting these players away from pre-scripted preparedness and into a different type of preparedness to be ready to go kind of at a whim's notice based on what plays you were going to get, what team was going to face which team, all of that. Within this scrimmage environment.
Ross, I'm glad you brought up the run game, even though it wasn't really featured on Sunday. We know Kamara's going to be RB1. I know you've written about this at LouisianaSports.net, but does there seem to be any separation at all yet or pecking order for RB2?
Yeah, I would say that there's kind of tiers. And so obviously Alvin Kamara is in a tier of his own. But then you look at some of the other guys that have gotten sort of first and second team reps. That group includes guys like Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Devin Neal, the rookie third-year running back Kendrick Miller that's really looking to bounce back this season. And then a little bit of Cam Akers kind of mixed in all of that too. And then we've seen kind of Marcus Yarns and Bayless Jones Jr. kind of hover in the second and third team reps, with Marcus Yarns mostly in the third team reps. And so I think you can kind of look at 3 distinct tiers in terms of Alvin Kamara, the guys that are seeing first and second, and then the guys that are mostly involved in second and third teams. And that gives you an idea of maybe where things sit right now. But if you were to ask me who right now I think is running back 2, I don't know that I can answer that just yet because we haven't seen enough of the run game throughout training camp. A lot of the padded practices have lent themselves towards the passing game, 2-minute drives, or rather 2-minute drills at the end of halves, 2-minute drills at the end of games. The first day of padded practices, we saw quarterback run game installs, all that. So I'm really excited to kind of really get to sink my teeth into the run game a little bit more of what this will look like for this team once we get to the preseason, and they've got to be able to kind of show that on the field in LA. And so I think that's when we're going to learn a lot more about this run game.
Okay, as they head into the first preseason week here, they'll play the Chargers on Sunday. It's in an off day here on Monday after a 126-play scrimmage. It's a good time to just sort of pause, pull back, and assess the body of work so far at quarterback. 10,000-foot view, tell us what you see so far.
Yeah, I think when it comes to the three quarterbacks that are kind of in this conversation, we know that there's two front runners. It's Spencer Rattler and it's Tyler Shuck. And so when it comes down to the two of those guys, I think that what we've seen from Spencer Rattler is a much more decisive Rattler than we saw last season. That makes sense, going from a rookie year, having seen 6 starts now, having seen some NFL action and adjusted to the speed. And we've also seen a Rattler that's a little bit more comfortable utilizing his legs in a way that he couldn't or didn't last year. When we spoke with him one-on-one over at LouisianaSports.net last year after his first 3 starts, when he talked about coming back after the offseason, he talked about coming back as a brand new player and that fans were going to see something entirely different because he wanted to be able to utilize his legs a little bit more and trust sort of that natural athleticism that he has. He wanted to focus on kind of rebuilding, the lower body and building speed and all these other things. So I think you're seeing all of those elements kind of come to fruition for him so far throughout training camp. Tyler Shuck, what you're seeing is a guy that can make every single throw on the field, take some incredible arm angles, has some athleticism in his game as well, but hasn't really been aggressive until maybe the last couple of practices. So as that aggression turns into, bigger plays being made and things like that, then I think you can see him start to close the gap that currently exists between him and Spencer Rattler. But I would say right now that we're just looking at them from a general perspective so far, Spencer Rattler comfortably ahead right now in that quarterback battle. And a lot of it has to do with his ability to operate and his ability to kind of make decisions quickly and take some risks in the process.
Do we know, Ross, how Kellen Moore is going to handle the reps for the preseason games for the quarterbacks?
Not just yet. It's something that's going to definitely come up tomorrow, and then we're probably going to bug Kellen each and every day. He's going to feel like the Super Bowl again when I was following him around all over New Orleans. And so I'm sure we'll bug him about it all throughout the week, next week in Orange County. But I'm curious about that too. Is he going to throttle this down to just 2 quarterbacks, give one a half? Are we really going to see 3 quarterbacks involved? And, obviously there are some other things that could play into that decision, but we don't know just yet, but I think that we're going to be pestering him about that here this week.
Yeah. Ross Jackson is with us. He's on Twitter at RossJacksonNola. Give him a follow. You can read him at LouisianaSports.net. You can listen or watch him at Locked On Saints. We've talked so much about the quarterbacks, Ross. I think we're all guilty maybe of not talking enough about who's actually going to catch the ball. We know Olave and Shaheed are there. Is anybody else making a significant impact so far?
I know T-Bob is, off in Chicago having a good time now, but he would be very happy to hear that it's Mason Tipton.
I am not
Tipton.
Isn't this the problem though, Ross? Like if you keep, not you, but you keep trying to sell me every year in camp on Mason Tipton, and every year the season comes and he's nowhere to be seen. Like, isn't that a problem?
I think it becomes a problem if every year it gets the regular season and he's nowhere to be seen. I think that that's true. Like if that continues to happen, then, we get back to the wide receiver who shall not be named kind of territory. And so I think that for New Orleans, they would certainly like to avoid that for sure. But I will say Mason Tipton is standing out each and every practice so far. Last year, he was standing out early, but then he had that injury and that kind of set him back a little bit from getting comfortable with the offense, which was, a very kind of run-heavy offense. I think this one will be too, but is going to ask a little bit more of its wideouts. And I also think, too, that one of the reasons why we're seeing Mason Tipton stand out so much is because we haven't seen Brandon Cooks overly involved. And I think that's by design. Brandon Cooks, Demario Davis, and Cam Jordan are all guys that have kind of been paced into the installation and throughout practice, but not overly utilized or overly featured in practices. And I think that's because they know what these guys are going to do, and they know that those guys know what it is that they need to do as the veterans of the roster. And so I do think that there is a truth to the matter, too, that when you get into the regular season, you'll see Brandon Cooks a little bit more than you're hearing about him in training camp, and that's probably going to impact the opportunity and ability for a guy like Mason Tipton to really cash in on that momentum that he's building here in training camp.
All right. So much focus on the offense naturally with the quarterbacks and offensive-minded coach, all that stuff. It is Brandon Staley installing a new defense. Anything that is maybe the biggest storyline on the defensive side so far, good or bad?
Yeah, I think over on the defensive side, a good thing that I would highlight is I think the defensive side has a lot more talented young depth than the offensive side of the football has. And so that's good for this defense. I think that when you look at, the top of that edge rusher room, Chase Young, Carl Granderson, it's easy to kind of see guys that stand out there. They always kind of stand out. They look different than the rest of the players around them, especially now as stand-up edge rushers. But then you look at some of these deeper guys, Yasheen Davis, who you had on the show after he was signed as an undrafted free agent at Wake Forest. He has flashed. Fadil Diggs, the rookie out of Syracuse, previously Texas A&M. He's flashed. Chris Rumpf, the guy that got brought in and has been somebody that, was familiar with Brandon Staley. He's flashed as well. And so now you're just looking for them to put together more consistency and in particular in in-game situations. The thing that's become sort of the concern is where you're seeing some incumbent players not really feel like they're settling into the new system. Isaiah Foskey, for instance, is a guy that we thought this might be, like if it was going to work for him, that this would be the system in which it worked. It's so similar to what he did at Notre Dame in that Viper role where he was more of a stand-up pass rusher hybrid linebacker. And he simply hasn't really shown up very much so far or shown out very much so far. And so I think that he's got all the talent. It's just for whatever reason, it's not showing on the field just yet. And so I think that along with the depth at wide receiver, which we already discussed, and I would say too, a little bit of the depth on the offensive line, because you see a lot of pressure in those second and third teams. And we're seeing errant snaps for those centers behind Eric McCoy. I think those are the places that have been most concerning so far.
Blake Grupe's locked down the kicking job.
Oh, my goodness, has he ever? He's, I think, 26 of 27 so far. That includes makes from 54, 59, 53, 51. I mean, this guy has been just automatic here so far throughout camp. Remember, we talked about how much of a competition we would see with the legs, kicker and punter in special teams. This has never felt like a competition when it comes to Blake Grupe and Charlie Smith. And it's not all about, the kicks that Charlie Smith has missed, which have been a lot of kicks in between the 40 to 50-yard range. It has just been how ridiculously good and consistent Blake Grupe has been. He looks like he's in for a big year. And look, with young quarterbacks and an offensive system that's being installed and trying to learn all of this, the kicker might be a big part of what puts points on the board. And so a guy like Blake Grupe going out there and building this momentum in training camp should be able to translate well going into the regular season. And I will say that almost all of his kicks, if not all of them actually, I'll say all but one day of his kicks have been outdoors, not in the indoor facility. Not that, we've provided much snow here in New Orleans or anything that's been, ridiculously hard for him to deal with or to manage inclement weather-wise. But just something of note that a lot of this has been against taking into account winds, taking into account sort of the natural elements in a way that last year we saw a lot of his kicks indoors.
LouisianaSports.net and Locked on Saints. He's Ross Jackson. We appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you, bud. You take care. Stay safe. Thanks for having me on. Talk to you soon.
Always. We're brought to you by Evermore, EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Drink Evermore. I was drinking Evermore by the pool yesterday. It's hot outside. Y'all make sure you stay hydrated when you're going to be walking down the bottled water aisle, be it at the gas station, the grocery store, wherever you are. Don't grab that thing that you're used to grabbing. I would actually encourage you to grab it and read the label. Look at where it says what's added or taken away, filtered out of that water. With Evermore, natural artesian water out of an artesian well in the North Shore Lake Pontchartrain right there in Covington. Nothing added, nothing taken away, a natural product from that artesian well right into the bottle. Better form of hydration, healthier option for your family. If you're a high-performance athlete, you need better hydration, you need Evermore. EVAMOR, Evermore.com, Evermore.com. Available at great local retailers and online at Evermore.com. Okay, y'all, it is After Further Review. We are thrilled to have you hanging out with us here on this Monday, presented by Relief Windows. We're going to knock out a quick break. When we come back, we'll circle back to Brian Kelly, some of his comments after practice on Monday, and also the preseason coaches' top 25 is out. I'll react to that next on AFR.
AFR.
When it's 110 degrees outside and your AC goes out, you don't have an option. You got to get it fixed. It's literally dangerous to be stuck in a home without central air when we get to those types of dangerous temperatures. It's why you can rely on River City's 1 Hour Air. Esther Penz sent this 5-star review. I love it. Kevin, the technician. Kevin is pretty dope. He was friendly, professional, quick, and very knowledgeable. He was patient in answering questions and made us feel confident in his ability to explain the issue as well as resolve it. Definitely will use him again and recommend him to others. Kevin, of course, is dope. So is River City's 1 Hour Air. Look for the big yellow vans and trucks with the giant clock on the side. I encourage you, go read the Google reviews. You'll see why they have double the amount of 5-star reviews of the next closest competitor, because they're always on time, or you don't pay a dime. Nights, holidays, and weekends, they'll always come out. 752-0001, 752-0001.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunnyquip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Luba Workers Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown.
After Further Review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Coach's preseason top 25 is out for college football. Texas, preseason number 1 with 28 first-place votes, followed by the defending champ Buckeyes with 20 votes. Penn State, third, with 14 first-place votes, followed by Georgia, 3 first-place votes. Notre Dame, preseason number 5. Clemson, LSU season-opening opponent, preseason number 6 with 2 first-place votes, actually. And then Oregon 7, Alabama 8, LSU 9, Miami 10. That rounds out the preseason top 10 in the coaches poll. A couple of things here that I do find interesting as we look at that preseason top 10. I am skeptical on Texas. I get it. They got a ton of talent. And I did pick them to make the SEC championship game, in large part because of the talent they have and the schedule they play. So therein, maybe it does make sense. But like what I say when I'm picking a preseason, it's who has the fewest questions against the most manageable schedule. The manageable schedule piece is there for Texas, except for the fact that they do go to Georgia. The questions, though, are all over. And, of course, they start with Arch Manning at quarterback. And they've got guys with high star ratings and 5 stars and all that sort of stuff. There's just a bunch of questions everywhere. And I can say the same about Ohio State. You have 14 players drafted. I mean, you just lose everything all over both sides of the ball. You lose your quarterback. You lose your top 2 running backs. You lose a couple of starting offensive linemen. You're all everything. Jack Sawyer on defense. It's hard to lose. I mean, look at LSU in 2019 to 2020. The expectation of being there, then coupled with losing all of that talent year over year, just a very difficult thing to overcome. I just look up and down that top 10, and so someone's got to maintain that top spot. But I just go Arch Manning at Texas, Julian Saint at Ohio State, Drew Aller at Penn State. That's your top 3. Georgia obviously has a quarterback question. Notre Dame's got a new quarterback. Clemson has an incumbent at 6. Oregon's got a new quarterback at 7. And Dante Moore, who's a former 5-star. Bama's got a new starting quarterback. I mean, it's it's Penn State, Clemson, and LSU in the top 10 that return starting quarterbacks. And I just lean so heavily there that I grant it more weight. But if you're looking at the rest of the top 25, in particular the SEC, which I think the coaches actually got it more right than a lot of the pollsters and some of the preseason magazines. South Carolina's at 13. I still think that's probably a little over their skis. Ole Miss at 15. Florida's down at 17. Tennessee 18. I mean, you can't lose Nico and not miss a beat. Texas A&M at 21. So I think that's probably a little more appropriate than a lot of what we saw where some of the preseason polls had Florida, South Carolina, Texas A&M in the top 10. The coaches generally know better what they're looking at. And so this feels a little more appropriate with Tennessee down at 18, Texas A&M at 21, Florida at 17. But just a starting point. If I had my druthers, there wouldn't be polls until October. You'd play a month of football and then release a poll, but it's about conversation, and so that's where we are. And it's a starting point, and that's the starting point. So when LSU takes on Clemson, it will be number 6 against number 9. You'll have a top 10 matchup with LSU and Clemson in Clemson, South Carolina, in 26 days from right now. All right, it's After Further Review. We're glad you're with us. We're brought to you by Southpoint Volkswagen and SouthpointVW.com. Took my Volkswagen Atlas Crossport out to practice today. Took my Volkswagen Atlas Crossport to Houston last Monday when I was there and back on Monday, Tuesday. Eric and I would take her Volkswagen Atlas to the beach every summer when we go. The bottom line is when we're on the road, be it driving around town with Drew in his car seat or family trip to the beach or wherever we may be, we have tremendous peace of mind knowing we're driving one of the safest vehicles on the road. We also get all the great gas mileage, the high performance, and great ways to save at Southpoint Volkswagen as well. 3.9% APR right now in the 2025 Cross Sport. They've got a current owner bonus. If you currently own a Volkswagen, get $1,500 for your loyalty right now at Southpoint Volkswagen. Airline just north of Highland or SouthpointVW.com. Southpoint Volkswagen. What's your direction? In 18 minutes from right now, EJ Kuiper and Ryan Cross from FMOL Health System, of course, of which Our Lady of the Lake is part of, I should say. They'll be in our studio. We'll talk about some cool NIL stuff they're doing, but also the future LSU basketball arena project. As we learned, the news leaked a couple of weeks back that Our Lady of the Lake is pursuing the naming rights of the new arena. So we'll talk a little bit about that with the president of FMOL in our studio in 18 minutes from right now. Brian Kelly met with reporters, and he was asked about the sort of intensity on the offensive line and defensive line so far this early in fall camp?
I think intensity is, first of all, a mindset, and having the right guys that bring that intensity certainly helps. Then how do you create that? Look at the offensive line. You got 5 guys competing for spots. So there is that piece where it brings out an intensity. So, you know, when you're stirring it, right, you're stirring the drink and you put all the ingredients in there, sometimes you really got to work hard at getting that intensity, and sometimes you just add water. This group is much more about just adding water. They have those traits, and they have that situation where there's so much competition. We haven't had that competition, quite frankly. They're the starter. You know, it's hard to bring that intensity every day. So I would add those factors into why what you're seeing is actual and true.
You know, the fascinating part about Brian Kelly kind of laughing there and saying, you know, we haven't had that competition, is not wrong. Because when you and by the way, not because of a negative situation, it's because you've had starters embedded. You had Will Campbell and Emory Jones embedded for 3 years. You had Garrett Dellinger and Miles Frazier embedded for 3 years. You know, obviously this past year, DJ Chester took over at center, but before that, you had Charles Turner for 2 years embedded there. Like, you didn't have competition because you had incumbents. Well, now the whole thing is competition. I mean, nobody is in their spot. The one thing he said point blank, can you play that one, Muse? It's number 12. The one thing, as he was going through, the one thing that's point blank done is Braylon Moore's your starting center.
Paul, DJ, Colin Eccles, and Thompson. So those 4 guys, 1A, 1B right now. They're just rolling in and out as you know, we've kind of established Braylon Moore as the center. And so those 4 guys are working, and DJ would be our number 2 center. So it's a 4-man rotation right now with those guys.
So again, like, your center is set with Braylon Moore, and right now your tackles are set with Tyree Adams and Weston Davis. Now, if something happened and you had to shift, then Josh Thompson could play tackle. It means someone maybe like Cohen Eccles would move into that guard spot. But you basically have 4 guys vying for 2 spots right now. 3 things are known. Braylon Moore's your center, Tyree Adams left tackle, Weston Davis right tackle. Those are seemingly set right now. The competition, the rotation, is the 4 guys for 2 spots at guard. It's Josh Thompson, DJ Chester right now running with the 1s, and they're being backed up by Cohen Eccles and Paul Mabenga, who started 5 games a year ago. Out of those 4 guys, you're going to find 2 starters, and that's where the competition is. And they are rotating them, and they're getting them reps, but I'm going to say it again. If you missed our practice report at the beginning of the show today, my biggest takeaway on the line is when they go one-on-one, the offensive line more than holds their own in the pass rush drills against the defensive line, meaning those guys are plenty talented enough to do the job. It's not like you're putting someone out there who is physically incapable or overmatched. They all win reps. They're all very capable. The issue is when they go team, the defensive front is overwhelming them at times. And I think that's 5 learning to play as 1. 5 guys that have never played together learning to play as 1. And so you've got a month. You've got a month worth of practices in fall camp and getting ready for Clemson. It's why it's spilled milk at this point, but I would love it if you had a week 0 game. I would love it if you had Southeastern week 1 and then went to Clemson. So they'd at least have a like the example is, think back to Florida State in the Dome, Brian Kelly's first game, when Garrett Dellinger was starting that game at center, and it was a disaster. How great would it have been if you could have had that quote-unquote disaster at home against Southern and then gone and played Florida State with your now settled offensive line? Again, it's crying over spilled milk at this point because there's nothing you can do. You get the game scheduled August 30th. You got to do your best. It's just in 3 years, they've come out of camp and not known necessarily in certain spots who their best guys were in certain spots. There's much more urgency to make sure you have that, because as tough as playing Florida State was, or Southern Cal and Vegas, this is just a different animal altogether. So you got to figure it out. And you've got to get those guys reps, as many reps as you can together. It's going to be what the next 3 weeks is largely about for those offensive linemen. All right, it's after further review. We'll knock out a quick break, come back. Muse will do Tigers and the Pros to wrap up hour number 2. Don't you move on AFR.
After further review.
Get Gordon and get it done. Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. If you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Get Gordon and get it done. It's Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You know, we talk so often about all the different ways that Gordon positively impacts our community, right? You go to GordonGives.com. Actually, if you go to the website, getgordon.com, there's a Gordon Gives tab right there. If you want to see the many different ways that Gordon impacts the community, it's right there for you. The laptop giveaway, the bicycle giveaway around Christmas. If maybe you want to request a sponsorship, you could do it right there. And so many other ways as well, like through the G team and the NIL efforts and endeavors that Gordon and his team has put forward. It's all about giving back to our community, the communities that have given Gordon and his family so much. He says it all the time. So if you've been injured in an accident, it's not your fault. Do what injured people in our state have done for 3 decades. Go to getgordon.com. Get Gordon and get it done.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Wrapping up hour number 2. Glad you're hanging out with us here. We always appreciate our friends at Relief Windows and reliefwindows.com. The Oddfather is back. How about it? He's back from Del Mar.
Oh, gosh. Proceed with caution.
Can't wait to get Otterlocks. They're already posted over at LouisianaSports.net if you want them. We give the hesitancy because a few years ago, man, Jimmy was just on a Major League Baseball heater.
Yeah.
I mean, like, couldn't be stopped.
Which is difficult with baseball, man. It's a very hard sport to bet.
Goes to Del Mar, bets on the ponies for a couple of weeks, comes back and could not pick a, like, if he had the sports almanac from Back to the Future, he still couldn't pick a winner after that. So I don't know, man. Proceed with when Otter's back from Del Mar. Proceed with caution. But Jimmy's back. We're glad he is back, and we'll have Otterlocks coming up next hour. All right, Muso. Tigers in the pros.
Tigers in the pros. They still bleed purple and gold. They're just really rich now.
Earlier on Monday, Paul Skeens was named National League Pitcher of the Month for July because, of course, he was. He went 2-1 with a 0.67 ERA, struck out 36 in 27 innings pitched. And, oh, by the way, started his second consecutive All-Star game in the month of July. It was a really, really good one. See if he can repeat it in August. Couple of rehab assignments in minor league baseball to get you caught up on. Dylan Cruz had a great day on Sunday. 2 out of 4. He had a 3-run homer and a double in that game. So far on the rehab assignment, he's hitting .231. We'll see how much longer the Nationals keep him down there. Aaron Nola made his first rehab start. That was back on Friday night. We gave you a preview. He ended up going 3 shutout, punched out 3 as well. Good pitch count. His next rehab start is scheduled for Wednesday. Of course, everything has to go according to plan, and hopefully he'll be there. Talked about Hunter Verducci being traded last week at the deadline. He was facing his former team. The Dodgers went 1-for-4 on Sunday in that ball game. Cole Henry back to his ways. Shutout inning of relief for the Nationals on Sunday. And then finally, Anissa Morrow for the Connecticut Sun. 16 points, 9 boards. The 16 points, second most on her team. Really, really solid game in a starting role.
Nice.
That's Tigers in the pros.
Nice the beast. Presented by Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry, lmfj.com, lmfj.com. Gents, if you're thinking of popping the question, Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. You can go to the website. You can schedule a consultation with one of their associates, no matter any of the 9 locations. 2 in Baton Rouge, Corporate Boulevard, Mall of Louisiana, New Orleans, Lafayette, Shreveport. Bottom line is, when you're buying a diamond, it is a forever expression of your love. You want her to be thrilled. They want her to be thrilled. So if you want to try on and look at 1,000 rings, look at 1,000 rings. They're never going to pressure you into buying something. They want you to be thrilled. This is something that in hopes would pass down through generations of your family. It's Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Learn more online at lmfj.com, lmfj.com for Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Thrill her with a gift in the red box from Lee Michaels Fine Jewelry. Yeah, I was looking at a video of Aaron Nola's rehab start. It's weird. It's his first minor league outing since 2017. Nola's out here just dealing against minor league kids. It's just so unfair. All right, hour number 3 coming up right after SportsCenter.
After further review.
You know, if you're hitting the road one more time before summer ends and the kiddos go back to school, make sure you bring your vehicle to Shawbills. ShawBillsTire.com. That's where you can go schedule your service. ShawBillsTire.com. With locations all over South Louisiana. You know, they opened up their doors in 1968 when they did. Mr. Charlie created what he called the Charlie's Dozen and also the Customer Bill of Rights. Think about this. This is a tire shop, an auto service company that has a Customer Bill of Rights. It's things that they believe you, as a customer, are entitled to when you walk through the door. You don't hear much of that anymore. But it's one of the reasons that why, since 1968, Shawbills continues to thrive. Because more than 50 years ago, Mr. Charlie said, we're going to repair people's tires for free because it's just the right thing to do. And they still do it today. And as a result, you'll buy your tires there. They'll keep you coming back year after year after year. Experience the Shawbills difference. ShawBillsTire.com. Shawbills, we keep you rolling.
With a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Luba Workers Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Breck teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar.
This is SportsCenter.
I'm Christine Lisi. The latest NBA Max extension goes to Spurs star De'Aaron Fox. 4 years, $229 million, reports ESPN's Shams Charania. No player option in the final year and keeps Fox in San Antonio through the 2029-2030 season. What's been happening during the contract standoff between the Cowboys and pass rusher Micah Parsons is really nothing new for Jerry Jones, according to the Cowboys owner himself. Jones, in an interview with USA Today published today, said he won't grant Parsons' trade request and is in no hurry to get a deal done. ESPN NFL front office insider Mike Tannenbaum.
I think there's a 0% chance he gets traded, and I think this is just the noise of an NFL negotiation in July and August. I just don't think Jerry Jones, as the owner-operator of the Cowboys, is going to trade a star. I just don't think he's wired that way.
Mike Tannenbaum on unsportsmanlike. Parsons is at training camp, has not been practicing, though. Bills running back James Cook didn't practice a second straight day as he seeks a contract extension. The men's and women's NCAA basketball tournaments won't be expanding this season. Fields will remain at 68.
ESPN Radio is presented by Progressive Insurance. Progressive can help you protect your home, auto, boat, motorcycle, ATV, and RV and more. And if something wasn't mentioned that you had in mind, find out if it can be covered at Progressive.com or 1-800-PROGRESSIVE, because it probably can be.
Matt Moscona.
I'm very important.
After further review.
Say it one more time.
After further review with Matt Moscona.
And here we go.
Live from the Mercedes-Benz of Baton Rouge studio.
That's right. Oh!
Hour 3, off we go. Welcome aboard. Glad you're with us. It's AFR presented by Relief Windows. I'm Matt.
Love you, Matt.
Paul O'Neill.
They're chanting Paul O'Neill's name.
Murray Musso. And Mr. Toby Tom Blake. All right, we're here. Glad you are as well. 5 o'clock quitting time. Glad you are driving home with us. What a great time of year, man. The Saints and the Tigers both on the practice field, getting after it, counting down toward football season. This is a conversation we're about to have. We got a couple of segments with these two gentlemen in studio that we've tried to get this on the calendar for a while. Schedules sometimes aren't always easy to match up, but one of the things that I've been asked about and LSU fans have talked about quite literally for years now is the new arena conversation. And recently, some news linked that Our Lady of the Lake has been in conversations about the possibility of owning the naming rights of a projected new basketball and multi-purpose arena for LSU athletics. And so E.J. Kuiper, the president and CEO of the Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System, and Ryan Cross, who's the VP of Government Affairs for FMOL, are good enough to join us in studio. Gents, it's a pleasure. Thank you for taking the time today. How are y'all?
Thanks for having us.
Great.
Glad to be here.
Nothing to it, right? Just another day, LSU in camp, running a big old health system, and you got a radio guy bothering you to come talk about an arena, right?
Go Tigers.
All right, go Tigers. Let's start there though, because I obviously talk a lot. We've got a great relationship with OLOL here. Maybe for either of you who want to start, maybe Ryan start. Just if you were to explain the lake and the relationship with OLOL and LSU.
Look, the history of LSU and Our Lady of the Lake goes back more than a decade, back to when, under Governor Bobby Jindal, they implemented the public-private partnerships for the hospitals. We closed Earl K. Long, broke down a two-tiered system of healthcare here in Baton Rouge, and decided to deliver all of that exceptional care through Our Lady of the Lake, brought the medical residents in-house into Our Lady of the Lake, a lot of the research that has led to many groundbreaking pieces of medical technology into Our Lady of the Lake, and things like the Level 1 Trauma Center, the Cancer Center, the Heart and Vascular Institute, all started more than a decade ago. 2 to 3 years ago, we took that one step further in a natural evolution and became the LSU main campus health partner, where we took over managing the Student Health Center, the interdisciplinary science building that's going to open up in just a couple of months on campus, the athletic sports medicine, and partnering to provide care for all 500 plus of our athletes that are on campus, and continuing that investment in medical education, training, and research. And now we're looking to the future as that partnership continues to grow, continues to evolve into what it can be when you take exceptional higher education through LSU, the flagship, and exceptional healthcare through Our Lady of the Lake and FMOL Health, and merge them together.
That's great groundwork to lay, because I think a lot of people maybe aren't aware of all the many ways that Our Lady of the Lake and LSU are interwoven. EJ, I know one of the things when you and I first met and were talking was just how expansive FMOL is beyond just Our Lady of the Lake. Can you maybe, for our audience, explain that partnership and relationship?
Sure, absolutely. We are the premier healthcare provider in the Gulf South. So we have facilities all over Louisiana, in Baton Rouge, in Lafayette, Monroe, and also in Mississippi. When I was recruited to lead the health system a year and a half ago, I was really impressed with the quality of healthcare delivered. But what really sealed the deal for me was that partnership that Ryan just talked about with LSU, to have two world-class organizations partner together and create exceptional care was something that was very exciting to me. And so we're very thankful for the partnership with LSU. I'm very impressed. I've been around the block a couple times, worked in several markets. And let me tell you, the LSU brand is top 5 in sports, period. And when we started looking at the naming rights opportunity, we hired some consultants that confirmed all of that for us. It's a world-class athletic department led by Scott Woodward, and of course we're losing Kelly Zinn. We're going to miss her, but there's some top-notch people that work for LSU.
You mentioned, so it's an interesting transition then to the naming rights for the new arena. You mentioned hiring some consultants. What are those? What was the fact-finding effort with the consultants aimed to do?
Mm-hmm. It felt like a natural extension of already a great partnership when we were asked. But when we were shown the opportunity and the world-class, state-of-the-art facility that we're hopefully going to build, we needed to get some information around brand equity and how LSU compares to the rest of college athletics and, quite frankly, pro football, pro basketball as well. And the results were absolutely amazing. The outreach that LSU has, the reach, the equity that they have built over the years is phenomenal and can barely be matched by anybody in sports. So we knew that it was a powerful partnership But after getting that validated by these consultants, we knew it was the right thing to hitch our wagon to the LSU brand, which is world class.
So just to clarify, so LSU reached out to the lake initially to gauge interest in the naming rights.
You know, it was, and obviously we were already a premier
Sure.
healthcare partner, so it made sense. So they reached out. They had already been working on the plans for the arena. Gosh, it's almost 2 years now under the leadership of Charles Landry and John Enquist and Scott Woodward and Kelly Zinn. And so by the time we were brought in sometime last year during football season, they got us up to speed, and we got excited very quickly. This is, as you know, Matt, a once-in-a-generation opportunity for this community.
So it was about last fall when the conversation started. If I could just fast forward, I know the plans leaked, the renderings leaked. Where are things? We'll fill in the gaps in the middle, but where are things right now with the new arena? Ryan, either of you? Yeah, sure.
Sure, yeah. We're pending Board of Supervisors approval. So as we continue to work through the paperwork and that process and some of that fact finding, we're pending a Board of Supervisors vote later this fall. And then hopefully we can get shovels in the ground.
And Ryan is talking about the LSU Board of Supervisors.
Right, the LSU Board.
There's going to be a workshop where the developers come in, where the business plan is going to be shared, the funding mechanism, some of the renderings. Some of that stuff leaked early, and that's always a little bit awkward when that happens, but it doesn't change the story.
Sure.
This is a transformational project for LSU, for Baton Rouge, and beyond.
So Board of Supervisors approval, if that comes this fall, is that's the final step to be able to advance? What then is delaying that right now? Because as you mentioned, EJ, it feels like we have had this conversation for a couple of years now about the possibility of a new arena.
It's not necessarily delaying anything. It's a matter of making sure that we can show the LSU Board of Supervisors that we're taking every step from a due diligence perspective. So you want to make sure when you enter into a transformational project like this that you check all the boxes, that you make sure that the location of the arena is absolutely the right location, that the funding is the way it should be. There's so many, as you can imagine, angles to this that we want to make sure that the Board of Supervisors see all the great work that's been done over the last 2 years, and that's going to take a little bit of while to explain. So it makes perfect sense to do a workshop, make sure that everybody can reflect on it for a while before it then goes to the board for a final vote.
Do we know a definitive location for the arena, or are there still multiple locations being discussed?
No, I think the location has been shared already. It's going to be where the golf course is, very close to Alec Box.
Okay. That's a gigantic property there. So would it be closer to the river, closer to Nicholson?
It's close to Nicholson.
Okay.
And, the exciting thing is there's a lot of economic development that's going to be around the arena. For example, we've already announced that we're going to build a state-of-the-art sports medicine institute right adjacent to the arena, which will include orthopedic and sports medicine through our partners, Brock, athletic training, physical therapy, imaging, CT, MRI, ultrasound, X-ray, sports performance through our Traction partnership. So this is going to be the Taj Mahal of sports medicine. And quite frankly, we wouldn't do it if it wasn't for this arena project.
Sure. EJ Kuiper and Ryan Cross from FMOL are in studio with us, talking a little bit about the new arena project that's ongoing in the conversations. I don't know if you all are at liberty to say, but do we know terms of this deal, length, value, amount?
You're talking about the naming rights?
For the naming rights, yes, sir.
We know the terms, yeah.
So will those be kept private?
Yeah, I think, it might be already out there, but for me, that's unimportant. It's a significant investment that spans at least 10 years.
The length of time, I think, is probably
it's
10 years.
At least 10 years. If you compare the investment, which is significant, but it does pale in comparison to the type of charity care that we're doing, the community benefit projects and programs, which is about $125 million a year. We're investing this year in our health system, $250 million, $250 million in our hospitals, in our clinics, in our people. So it just felt like a natural extension of what was already a really, really good partnership.
Well, why does it feel so important to deepen a relationship with LSU athletics in particular?
Look, I think it goes back to what EJ talked about. The brand is so recognized nationally. The care that we have been able to provide to LSU athletics, to the 500-plus student athletes that come through our clinics on campus over the last several years since we've had that partnership is so important. We have the absolute best physicians that I'd stack up against just about anybody when it comes to providing that type of orthopedic sports medicine care that we not only offer to LSU student athletes, as you often note on the show, but also offer to the Baton Rouge community and to our communities across the state of Louisiana and Mississippi. And so continuing to make that connection and to show that LSU athletes trust the team at Our Lady of the Lake. And it's important that our community know that trust is in place and that they can trust us with their care as well.
Guys, sit tight. We're going to knock out a quick break, come back. I do want to ask a timeline question. We'll delve into a little bit more here and other things that Our Lady of the Lake has going on to deepen their partnership with LSU Athletics. We're going to continue with EJ and Ryan. Stay with us here on AFR, presented by Relief Windows.
AFR.
Take 60 seconds and remind you about Glow Resources. You know, when we talk about Glow every day, I use the phrase complete employer solutions. And for years, their slogan was complete employee solutions. And they changed it because it took some sort of self-evaluation to recognize what they are. And some of that is what they aren't. What they aren't is a temp staff agency. So if you're looking for a job, don't call Glow. They'll find you. Who Glow wants to deal with directly is you, the business owner, you, the HR manager, you, the hiring manager, you're the general manager. The person responsible in your organization for getting the right people in the right job to maximize efficiency, that's what Glow Resources does. They conduct nearly 15,000 interviews over the course of a year. It's an incredible number. And over that time, not once have they ever had a negative review on an interview. They're experts at finding the right people. GlowResources.com.
Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Luba Workers Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown, ParishBuilt.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. BRAC, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Continuing here on a Monday edition of AFR, EJ Kuiper, the president and CEO of the FMOL Health System, Ryan Cross, the VP of Government Affairs, joining us in studio. We had the fortune to talk to these guys and have a really cool conversation about the new LSU basketball arena. I shouldn't even call it a basketball arena, right? Because I think the plan
much more.
They're going to do. It'll be multiple sports, but then also, Ryan, you correct me with the verbiage here, but like a mixed use type complex.
Look, the arena itself will not only serve as a venue for LSU sports, men's and women's basketball, I think gymnastics, but a place where literally Baton Rouge will gather on the weekends, whether it's to attend concerts, whether it's to go to the mixed-use entertainment district that will ultimately find its home surrounding the arena on that 200-acre tract. It'll attract investments like our Sports Medicine Institute that'll be there on campus, additional research, clinical space, classroom space. There could be where students are going there. But, we look across the country at some of these downtowns. You think of Austin, you think of Omaha. We want to put Baton Rouge on that map as having an incredible place where folks can go to gather. But the economic development that will impact as a result of the arena on LSU's campus will trickle all the way down Nicholson Drive to downtown Baton Rouge, as we are allowed to then reimagine what is the River Center as a convention space, and potentially a new anchor hotel has been discussed as going up there at the River Center, where the River Center can become a hub for conventions that could fill the hotel and restaurant space in downtown Baton Rouge and just unlock incredible development all the way from the arena and Alex Box Stadium down Nicholson Drive into downtown Baton Rouge and even up to Memorial Stadium with some incredible plans that are being laid there as well.
Really? Like what?
Memorial is an incredible tract of land. It's an incredible space with a stadium that is not developed to the way that it should be. And I mean, there's been a lot of conversations of what could happen with that land if we were intentional about developing it in a way that could attract, potentially a semi-professional soccer league. There's a lot of different things that you could do that has been rumored and talked about.
I mean, that is an amazing space when you think about it. And for those that aren't familiar, just that area around Memorial Stadium, there's P. Colesby Field. The Governor's Mansion is right there as well in the turn by Fuqua Street. I mean, that even back when I was in college, there were talks about like a commuter line connecting LSU and downtown. It feels like this could be maybe the ignition switch to kick a lot of those things, to kickstart many of those things. Can I just have one quick follow-up? When you were talking about economic development and the entertainment district around a new arena, do you know if there are plans for residential?
I think everything's on the table at this point.
Okay, I didn't know if there was anything already discussed.
It's certainly discussed to bring more rooftops to the LSU campus, and that will happen when you provide world-class entertainment, right? People are going to want to go there.
Sure.
And so you're right. This is going to be a big catalyst for wonderful economic development from the LSU campus to downtown to Memorial Park, all the way to Southern Campus and the airport eventually.
Is there? We mentioned if the board grants approval this fall, hopefully shovels in the ground maybe in the spring. Is there a timeline?
Well, we're looking at 2029 for it to open up at this point.
So that would be the 29-30 basketball season?
Yeah, we're going to have to ask the LSU officials, but you don't want to move from the PMAC to the new arena mid-season.
Sure, of course. Yeah, so that's a question that probably needs to be directed somewhere else on Nicholson Drive. But you understand I have to ask. But another part of what Our Lady of the Lake does, and we talked about it kind of as we started, is Our Lady of the Lake does provide the care, not just for the students, but obviously the student athletes as well. Mm-hmm. And one of the exciting things that you all have kind of cooking in the works is a new program to be able to tell a lot of the student athletes' stories. What can you sort of disclose about how that's going to look?
look, over the last several years since we took over providing all the care through LSU Sports Medicine, we've had the privilege of caring for hundreds of student athletes over the years. Names that you know, injuries that you've heard about that come to us as the provider of their care. It's time that those stories are told. And we've got a lot of athletes that are excited about telling those stories. And so we're looking forward to partnering with them over the coming months to do so, starting this football season into obviously next year with men's and women's basketball and baseball. We look back to last year when Coach Mulkey had a cardiac episode, a real scare, and came to Our Lady of the Lake, and the team there was able to provide the care that she needed to keep her on the sidelines, coaching the Lady Tigers to victory. And those incredible stories happen every single day inside the halls of Our Lady of the Lake and all of our hospitals.
And we've heard those stories now for the last year and a half, and Ryan and I and others on our team said, we need to start sharing those stories. When the athletes are saying, I trust my team on the field, but when it comes to healthcare, I trust Our Lady of the Lake. When they tell us that, we need to share that. This is pretty special.
Yeah. I know a pretty good radio show that would love to help tell some of those athlete stories. If any of you're willing, I know a guy, can maybe put you guys in touch. We
can probably make that happen. I think that's something we can do.
If you're interested. Ryan Cross and EJ Kuiper from FMOL are in studio with us. So there's obviously so much focus on the new arena project, as that's been it's been a very high profile conversation. When you start to look into the future of the partnership with LSU, which you obviously are prepared to make a decade-long commitment, how else does that relationship evolve?
Look, I think, one example that really sums up the non-athletic side of our relationship with LSU that most people don't realize, sepsis is the #1 leading cause of death in hospitals across the country. Just a devastating disease that can cause all kinds of problems and is clearly life-threatening. There was the world's first 10-minute rapid sepsis diagnostic test was developed between Our Lady of the Lake and LSU physician scientists here in Baton Rouge. Up until now, it took a couple days to get a laboratory test to confirm whether a patient that was sick in a hospital had sepsis or not. It was up to the clinician to make a judgment call. Now, in less than 10 minutes, there's a test that can tell you with almost 100% certainty whether or not that patient has sepsis. That was developed here in Baton Rouge because of the partnership that LSU has with Our Lady of the Lake. We're looking forward to doing more of those kinds of medical innovations that's not only going to reduce the overall cost of care, but also save, and most importantly, save immeasurable lives here and around the world.
As a big LSU baseball fan, I've heard of the sepsis test because it was you watched any LSU baseball game this year, and you were definitely going to hear that message, which it's a pretty profound thing. Well, the baseball Tigers, by the way.
Let's go.
Very good. And when I was in Omaha, I was lucky enough to be with the baseball team the first and the second weekend, and lived in Omaha for a number of years. That downtown transformed. It wasn't always that way, and it was the baseball stadium and the Creighton Arena and the convention center that turned it around completely. And that's what we envision here in Baton Rouge as well. I wish that for all of us that live here in this community.
What years were you there in Omaha?
I was there from 22 through 24, so right before I was recruited here.
How was so that's really fascinating because I think everyone that's been to Omaha and seen that downtown district, with the mattress warehouse, that's there as well, how they've been able to sort of build everything around, really, you correct me if I'm wrong, but around that baseball stadium, which kind of is the hub for everything?
That's right, yeah, and it was just a domino effect. You need that first big project to be initiated, and then public-private partnerships are happening. And, it's evolving so rapidly, it's wonderful. I was there for 2 weekends. I want to be there for 10 days next year. It's going to be great, because let me tell you, Matt, that baseball team is loaded again. Jay has loaded up the team one more time.
I think he's pretty good at his job. I think for as long as they keep Jay Johnson in that office at Alec Box Stadium, LSU is going to have a contender, man. He is. Right. You all both know well enough. He is relentless and tireless. We need a good result for the football team as well this year, man. They look so good.
They've got some dudes. They've got some dudes. If they can just gel, the talent is there on both sides of the ball. It's exciting.
Yeah. Which you spoke to the LSU brand. Which is so strong and It's how they're able to be competitive in darn near everything. And hopefully a beautiful new arena project on the horizon. Gents, before we go, if people are interested in getting more info, or I don't know if people can help, if there's anything to do, what do you suggest people do? The website?
Look, have folks come connect with us on social media. You know, we have the privilege of telling a lot of great stories of our team members, our doctors, our researchers, our partners, you know, on social media every single day, whether you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever we call it these days.
I still say Twitter.
You know,
That's just easy. It's a tweet. It's a tweet.
Come find us, connect with us, and enjoy that storytelling. But most importantly, we're here for our community every single day, around the clock. You can trust us with your care. We want to.
And then when it comes to the arena project, there's going to be a lot of stories coming out, and they're exciting. This is an exciting development for Baton Rouge. It'll transform this community. So I think as a community, we need to see a great opportunity when it's right in front of us, and this is one of those.
It's a long time coming, and for the work that Our Lady of the Lake and of course the FMOL, the sisters, have done for so many years, for a century. I mean, it's 100 years.
Over 100 years.
It's amazing to think about what that's meant for our community. I know I've shared my story many times. You know, my son's cared for at the Children's Hospital. I think back about all the different, over the 15 years I've done this job, that when the idea of a standalone children's hospital was just, you know, was germinating, and many of the fundraising efforts, and now my son's cared for at that hospital. You live in this. I think you live in this community, even not just in Baton Rouge, but around. Like we mentioned, you know, about St. Elizabeth or Lourdes. So many of the other parts of FMOL. How many people are touched by the health system and the work the sisters have done and have continued for more than 100 years, which is amazing. So, gentlemen, I know it's not easy to carve out a half an hour of your day. So thank you for coming in. Thank you for your information, your candor. I appreciate it. We'll do it again soon.
We will.
Sounds good. Thanks,
we
man.
appreciate it. Ryan Cross and EJ Kuiper from Franciscan Missionaries of Our Lady Health System, FMOL, of course, with Our Lady of the Lake. We'll grab a quick break, and we'll continue on AFR.
AFR.
Love telling you about Clegg's Nursery with 4 locations in the greater Baton Rouge area. By now, you know where they are. Siegen near Airline, LA 16 in Denham, Mid-City on Don Moore, and the Garden Center on Greenwell Springs. Tell you every day to buy local and shop local. Clegg's been around for 60 years, y'all. Bypass the big box store. Support great local businesses that have been embedded in our community for 6 decades. Look, they've got Johnny Naylor's Seeds. They've got all the best selection of flowers and plants and trees and shrubs. I mean, it's 90 degrees right now. We're in August. It's still 90. We got like 2 more months of summer. So get on by and make sure that you add that pop of color to your flower beds, your patio pots. If you need mulch or soil, bag or bulk, they got it. If you need all the products to help keep the pests away, like ants or roaches or mosquitoes, they can help you there as well at Clegg's Nursery. So buy local, shop local, and be sure to tell them Matt sent you in to Clegg's Nursery.
And parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Breck, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Men, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land.
Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunnyquip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Luba Workers Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down.
After further review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
If it's happening in Louisiana sports, you'll find it at louisianasports.net. From the New Orleans Saints and LSU to SEC rivalries, recruiting buzz, and sports betting headlines, we've got the stories that matter. Check it out now at louisianasports.net.
That was a great conversation. Really sincerely appreciate those gentlemen for joining us. EJ Kuiper, who's the president CEO of the FMOL Health System, and Ryan Cross, who's the VP of Government Affairs. They came in and gave us a lot of good info on the arena project and added some clarity. So they hope LSU Board of Supervisors will give thumbs up, a go in their fall board meeting. If so, shovels in the ground shortly thereafter, looking for 2029 potentially as an open date, a launch date for the new arena, which will be on the golf course. The presently where the golf course is across from Alec Box Stadium, with the idea of an entire mixed-use economic development area that could include retail, would include their sports medicine facility, shopping, dining, really as an economic hub. I believe the way they describe it is like that first domino to fall to create this big economic engine. That would just be so massive. To see this get done, and for Our Lady of the Lake, and as I said about a year ago, last fall, LSU initially approached Our Lady of the Lake about the possible opportunity for the naming rights of the arena. They hired a consultant that went through sort of an evaluation of brand equity to see if it would make sense, and obviously they arrived at this conclusion where it made a ton of sense. Where I believe what EJ told us there was that their consultants came back and said LSU was a top 5 brand in the world, which is incredible to think, not just in college athletics, but it does make a lot of sense when you start to think about all the different things that have become so front and center and well known, really in the NIL era, where what Shaq and Livy Dunn and Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels, go down the list of what it's been. It's exciting, man. For those who just care about the sports component of it. I mean, I'm there with you. I host a sports show. Like, yeah, the PMAC. PMAC's a dump. It's the PMAC and Coleman Coliseum in Tuscaloosa are the worst venues in the SEC, and it wasn't always that way. But it's an old building. I mean, it's a 50-plus-year-old building. And it's had touch-ups here and there, but it's a dump. It's not a destination venue. And I could say, yes, Cameron Indoor at Duke. It's a brick warehouse. Cameron Indoor is a dump. So that's not why they go. At a place like LSU where basketball isn't going to be the premier focus, give people a reason to go to a cool venue with shopping and dining and entertainment district around. Yeah. It's going to drive a lot there. Something obviously very cool that Matt McMahon and Kim Mulkey and Jay Clark and will have to sell to athletes in the future. So anyway, very exciting. I appreciate those gentlemen for taking the time. I'm telling you, that's not easy. It's not easy to carve out 30 minutes of your day. We've been trying to get that on the calendar for more than a month now, and I'm glad the timing worked out and we were able to do it. So sincerely appreciate those guys. And, of course, the partnership we have with Our Lady of the Lake and LSU, we look forward to that relationship. And as you mentioned, telling some of those athlete stories, we'll be able to do that here on AFR, which I'm excited to do. All right, it's after further review. We're glad to have you hanging out with us here. LSU practiced on Monday. Media was able to attend. It was so interesting. Today I opened up my inbox, and I had an email from BetOnline. And sometimes they'll send emails out with updated odds and for different prop bets or whatever the case may be, win totals. And this one was statistical leaders by conference. And so they sent the projected SEC leaders in passing yards, rushing yards, and receiving yards. And it should come as no surprise whatsoever that Garrett Nussmeier is favored to lead the SEC in passing. He is minus 150. The next closest is Blake Shapen at Mississippi State at plus 400. So major gap there. And it does make sense if Shapen stays healthy. Remember, that's Jeff Levy's offense. It's a pass-happy offense. So that could absolutely make sense. Arch Manning plus 700. Ty Simpson plus 900. DJ Lagway plus 1,200. Gunnar Stockton plus 2,000. Then Austin Simmons, Taylor Green, Jackson Arnold, Lenora Sellers at plus 2,800. Yeah, it's going to sling it around, right? All that to say, not surprising to see Nuss, the only 4,000-yard passer returning in college football. What did surprise me is that if you flip over to the SEC rushing yardage leader projected, at the top of the list is LSU sophomore Caden Durham. Now, he's plus 750. That means if you bet 100, you'd win 750. Damari Alston from Auburn is second at plus 900 with Jam Miller from Alabama, both at plus 900. Then C.J. Baxter at Texas, Jaden Baugh from Florida, Rasul Faison from South Carolina, who just gained his eligibility, Ahmad Hardy from Missouri, Le'Veon Moss from A&M, Quintravian Wisner from Texas, Devon Booth from Mississippi State round out the top 10. But Durham there at the top. Now, that does make a little bit of sense. I know we're going to look and say, man, LSU was dead last in the SEC in rushing yards. They were 104th in the country in rushing offense a year ago, which is all true. And Caden Durham still ran for 750 yards last year and played half the season with 2 dislocated toes and didn't even have a carry in the opener against USC. He didn't really come on until the game at South Carolina. A full season healthy Caden Durham with 200 rushing attempts should be 1,000-yard back and could very well lead the SEC. Now, a couple of observations or points I'd like to make. One, I think Texas A&M is going to lead the conference in rushing. They have 3 really good backs, plus their quarterback, Marcel Reed, is a runner as well, and they return 4 starters on the offensive line. Probably the best offensive line, certainly the best offensive line in the SEC, arguably the best offensive line in college football, on paper coming back, and then 3 really good running backs and a quarterback that can run. I think A&M leads the conference in rushing, but when you have 3 running backs and a quarterback that can run, it's not likely that one guy is going to get 200, 220 carries that's going to be able to rush for 1,200, 1,500 yards. So you're just going to have a lot of sort of cannibalization there with guys eating up different carries. So you look for a team that has a bell cow that should be able to run the ball well. It makes a lot of sense for Caden Durham there. Because I do think, as we look at LSU's running game, Caden Durham is your number one. We continue to see Caleb Jackson run as the number 2. Harlan Berry is the 3. And then something we've seen in practice so far in fall camp is Jawan Johnson is taking reps at running back. Like, he's lining up in the backfield. He'll take direct snaps. But then also with Nuss in there, Nuss will take shotgun snaps and hand the ball to Jawan Johnson. So I think there's a component there. And they're going to get creative in the way that they run the ball. We've seen Xavier Thomas, Aaron Anderson line up in the backfield, opposite Nuss. So they're going to get jet sweeps, and they're going to be creative in the way they run the ball. This is the way I'd say it. LSU, it may not be a traditional I formation, pistol formation where they run the ball in traditional ways, but they are going to run the football because they have to run the football. And they're showing many different creative ways in which they are trying to run the football, including direct snaps to Jawan Johnson, et cetera. But Caden Durham has that opportunity to lead the conference in rushing this year, because I think he is going to be the guy who gets 200 rushing, provided he stays healthy. Like, he will get 200 rushing attempts this year. And if he carries the ball 200 times at 5.5 yards a carry like he did a year ago, you're talking about a guy that's going to have 1,100 yards, and that could very well lead the conference. So one thing worth keeping an eye on. But the thing that is just so obvious, so abundantly clear, LSU's offense is going to be really good. And I know that sounds like a very obvious statement, but you're returning a 4,000-yard passer, a guy that ran for 750 yards last year on a bum wheel, and the embarrassment of riches at receiver, where we talk about Aaron Anderson, your leading returning receiver, Xavier Thomas, who's a proven commodity as well at this point, Chris Hilton, who's a dynamic game breaker. You add Nick Anderson. Oh, by the way, Barrion Brown just keeps making plays every day, and they're forcing him the ball because they know what he can do with it in space. We haven't even gotten to the point where you talk about Trades Green and Bauer Sharp and what they mean, and maybe Harlan Berry as a pass catcher out of the backfield. There's just too much offensive skill there for opposing defenses to deal with. Like, this is going to be an offense that pushes in the top 10 nationally in all the statistical categories. The key for the team, though, to have team success is the defense needs to take another step under Blake Baker. And that's why maybe for me so far through 5 camp practices, and I've been at every minute of availability they've given us so far, the most encouraging component is that defense every day makes plays against the offense. And I know this offense is good. Like, it's not they could be good. Like, they're proven commodities offensively. And the defense keeps making plays. I mean, you were 61st nationally in total defense a year ago. If you can go from 61st, I'm not even saying top 10, just go to 31st. Be what Georgia was defensively a year ago. Remember, Georgia last year was 30th nationally in total defense. Just go from 61st to 30th. With an offense that scores 40 a game, you're going to have a chance to win every single game you play. I'm not saying you're going undefeated. I'm going to say you have a chance to win every game you play. And if that's the case, you're going to have some really good results and probably find yourself playing meaningful games in January. All right, it's after further review. Brought to you by Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Tell you every day to do business with someone you know. It's Parish Construction and Roofing, me and Terrio and Richard Tilley and Joe Morales and Trent Davis and our great crew over there. Tell you about Matt Pearson, our commercial roofing manager. I love the team we've been able to build and the great work we've been able to do at Parish Construction Roofing. And so many people who have trusted us. Like, go to the homepage of our website. You'll see a video right there of Kim Mulkey. We've done work for Coach, for members of her family as well. And it's our honor when you give us the opportunity to earn your business at Parish Construction and Roofing. From the smallest roof repair to the largest commercial, re-roof or roof replacement, we have options. We have the knowledge, the know-how, the experience to get the job done fast, get it done right, and with people that you know. So we'd love to help you out. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. We do offer financing as well, so if you're worried about your ability to pay for a new roof or even to pay your deductible, we can help you finance your deductible. Just let us have that conversation. Let our team make it work for you. Parishbuilt.com, parishbuilt.com. Do business with someone you know. Parish Construction and Roofing. That's parishbuilt.com. All right, y'all, it is After Further Review. Thanks for hanging out with us here on this Monday show. If you miss anything, AFR On Demand presented by Breck Golf. Book your tee time at golf.breck.org, golf.breck.org. Gave you the fall camp report from LSU in hour number 1. Ross Jackson was here in hour number 2. We did give you our reaction to LSU landing Deuce Geralds, the big defensive lineman. That was in hour 2. A great conversation with EJ Kuiper and Ryan Cross from FMOL earlier this hour. Remember, catch anything on demand if you missed it at a podcast or on YouTube. Just search AFR LSU for the LSU content, AFR Saints for the Saints content. The Otter is back. We'll wrap up with Otterlocks next.
AFR.
Action Industries is a proud partner of LSU Athletics, and we are in turnaround season for a few more months, y'all. Turnaround season, March to October, generally speaking. So if you got that turnaround coming up, you need someone to bid that turnaround job, love it if you'd give our friends over at Action Industries the opportunity to earn your business. Remember, at Action Industries, they have the Advanced Turnaround Group. It's a subsidiary of Action Industries, the Advanced Turnaround Group. So this isn't taking people from other parts of the business and throwing them into the turnaround world. These are turnaround managers and coordinators, workers who are proficient in getting your turnaround done efficiently, safely, effectively, people who spend their entire careers just working in the turnaround world. It's the Advanced Turnaround Group at Action Industries. Learn more, actionindinc.com. Action Industries Incorporated. actionindinc.com. Action Industries, innovation in action.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunnyquip.com.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram is taking $22,500 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Ram 1500 Laramie with $22,500 off MSRP with a complimentary 7-year powertrain warranty that comes with all new Bayou Automotive vehicles. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
At Luba Workers Comp, our journey began over 30 years ago with a simple belief. Our clients come first.
At Luba, our business has always been focused on people, not policies.
Through every success and challenge, we've continued to grow because we've stayed true to our values, committed to providing you with genuine dependability.
Because your well-being is more than a priority. It's our purpose.
Parish Construction and Roofing. At Parish, we've got you covered. From the top of your roof, all the way down. Parish Construction and Roofing. Parish built. Parish built. Parish built. From your hometown, parishbuilt.com.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
After Further Review, presented by Relief Windows. Windows, doors, siding, and oh, we do shutters too.
Down the stretch we come. Final segment here on this Monday edition of AFR, presented by Relief Windows. We got one thing left to do. Let's find out what we're betting on tonight. It's time for Otterlocks.
Otterlocks.
All right, time to win some money.
Presented by Total Maintenance AC Repair. Same-day service means you will never sleep hot. 480-1000. We are Total Maintenance.
I think it's safe to say that I won the bet.
Hey, Otter! Let's...
Look at the week.
Where the surf meets the turf.
That's so
that
ridiculous.
old Jamal.
How did you do?
Lost less. So there we go. Yeah. Yes, indeed. That's a win. That's a win.
That is a win.
That's a
all
win.
right. So, got some MLB action tonight. How are we feeling about it?
All right. Feeling good. Put them out early on the show today also just to kind of give, because these were trending as public plays today. Normally, I'm not on the public side, but this is MLB post-trade deadline, and the separation is wider between the haves and the have-nots. But one of those teams that was a seller of the Miami Marlins, second hottest team in baseball last 2 months, Sandy Alcantara, was horrible for about his first 5 starts, but he has been on fire as of late. Last 2 starts are shutouts. So we have him against a free-falling Astros against a suspect pitcher. No score, bottom of the first in Miami on that one if you want to get on in-game. Moneyline parlay with the Phillies. The Phillies, and boy, they put their closer on display last night on ESPN Baseball. Duran, he's been outstanding. They kind of needed that against the Orioles, who they've been just bad all year, and they were a seller. We're going to hook it up with the Mets, and this is the new version of Sean Manaea. The old Sean Manaea was kind of a gas can. This guy is going a little bit more three-quarter delivery, and it is producing results. They picked up, they shored up their bullpen, so they're lights out with that bullpen. Just get 5 out of Manaea. They should be good against the Cleveland Guardians. So that Phillies-Mets parlay was paying plus 128 earlier today. Not sure what it is right now.
1 minute remaining.
Let me see. I can try to link it up. Go ahead.
Red Sox -1. That's available at DraftKings, the Queen Sportsbook. So it's just him and Bet Rivers that's available. You got to leave 1.5 everywhere else. We don't want to do that with the home team. So we're taking the Boston Red Sox there, and then we're going with the hottest team in Major League Baseball last 2 months. That's the Milwaukee Brewers. They are pounding the baseball. We're going to lay the run. Kind of a nondescript, starter, but very good starter as of late. We're going with the Brewers -1.5 plus money.
Phillies Mets plus 126 right now.
There you go. Oh, yeah, that's pretty good. That's a good price. That price held pretty good.
Where are you tomorrow?
We are at Doe's Eat Place on Government Street in Mid-City.
Otter, it's great to have you back, man. Good luck tonight.
I'm glad to be back.
No, you're not. Get out of here.
I'm sweating.
Get out of here. All right, we'll see you tomorrow. It's Muse Play. Thanks. See you tomorrow at 3.
AFR.
From your hometown, Nashville.com.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
BRAC teamed up to reimagine your parks, and you imagined big. With your help, we went to work, creating 12 beautiful community parks across the parish. A family-sized water park, miles and miles of trails, and parks just for your dogs. There are more places to splash, to explore, to run wild, and even soar. You imagined, we delivered. Gold. Brack, your #1 park system in the nation.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Man, age is just a number. Don't let it dictate how you feel. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness has anti-aging services that can help you look and feel your best. Visit yourgoodwood.com and discover a renewed sense of vitality.
These ice cubes could have been a thankless bed for an all-you-can-eat salad bar. But instead, they cradle and cool the crisp, refreshing Dos Equis. Nicely done, ice cubes.
Today, we are shaping tomorrow.
We are researching how extreme stress impacts the immune system, from trauma victims to athletes and even astronauts.
Our work is leading the way in sepsis treatment, saving countless lives.
We're unlocking the mind with music in exciting new ways.
Our Lady of the Lake Health and LSU are improving the health of our state.
That's the impact of champions.
Imagine the impact we'll have on the future. Together, we roar.
At Sunshine, we know what you see when you look at your land. Where others may see dirt, you see the foundation you've built your life on. This, it's hallowed ground. It's past, present, and future. We're proud to provide quality John Deere equipment to help you maintain the land you love. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine